Hey, what's going on in here? What's all these people in here? Hey guys, I miss you. Shout out to the dopest mod in the land, the headmaster herself, Madam K-Lig, up in the spot. How are you guys? How are you? I miss you. I got on the Dollar Tree readers because my glasses broke, guys. Can you believe it? Welcome, welcome, welcome. The dopest dog is right here. He has been on one since he has been missing his girl. You see that? Do you see he nudged this computer? He heard me say the dopest dog. My boy turned the computer. Shout out to the dopest mod. Shout out to the headmaster herself that has been keeping me in check and making sure that she makes sure that I keep my eyes on the prize. And I love her so much for it. And I thank her. I thank her ever so kindly. Hey guys, I missed you all. How have you been? You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with us. Shout out to the family. So much has been going on in this world. Oh, child. How are y'all able to stand it? So much malarkey has been going on in this world. How are you guys able to stand it? It is just bonkers and crazy. Shout out to the dopest nerd family, the nerd herd. Shout out to the dopest mod, the headmaster herself, Ms. K-Lig. Be sure to show your headmaster some love. $ KAYLIGG. Guys, shout out to those in the bushes. Shout out to those in the nosebleeds. Shout out to my neurodivergence. I've missed you guys so tremendously much. Shout out to everybody, no matter where you are viewing us, from your home, your car, your work, behind the wall, wherever God may have planted you at this moment. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate you. Hey guys, I miss you all. Look at all the. I said, what going on in here, party? Throw some love in the chat for your girl. Throw some love in the chat for K-Lig, baby. When I tell you, K-Lig be out here working for the family, okay? Working for the family. Luring your girl back. Sometimes, the internet be running me off. But no, actually, I was literally doing some things otherwise engaged, helping out a friend. And I'm back. I'm back, guys. I miss you guys so much. And I promise, I'm not going to stay away anymore. We got a love thing going on. And I missed you guys. Shout out to everybody who has sent so much love to the dopest daughter, the dopest show producer herself, who is excelling in academia. You'd be so proud of her. I'm so proud of her. My girl has gone on to academia and she's doing so well. She is literally doing amazingly. You guys would be so proud of her, honestly. I mean it. Let me do a little roll call in here for the fam. Let me see. This thing is going so fast. It's going so fast. Let me see what I can do. Let me scale up here. So how you guys been? What's been up? What's been up? What you guys been up to? First of all, let me just say, to God be the glory for it all. We are on the right side of the dirt. So many people went to bed last night with plans to do this, that, and the third today, and they did not rise and join us. So let's give all honor and glory to the Most High God, his son, Yeshua, the Christ of Nazareth, and the Holy Spirit. The blood of Yeshua, the Christ of Nazareth, over us all. And whoever you honor as God, on the positive. We ain't talking about them downstairs people, but whatever. Not whatever like who, whatever like honor the Most High. You may call him a different thing, but the Most High. Make no mistake about that. And his son, Yeshua, the Christ of Nazareth. May the blood of Yeshua be over us all. I've missed you guys tremendously. Trust me. But through staying steadfast to what is foundational to me, and that is my relationship with the Most High, I knew that I needed to be here with you guys. And so thus I am. Hey, y'all. Let me put this little microphone on. Hello, are we on the air? Can y'all hear me? Guys, I bought this thing so many months ago and I just never use it. I don't know if you guys tell me if it accentuates the sound and picks up all the secondary, tertiary, and primary noises. But shout out to K-Lig, shout out to Cherie, aka Cook's Crate. Shout out to Cook's Crate. Make sure we call that name. Shout out to Margie. Hey, Margie, what's up, baby girl? Kicking it with Auntie Leah. What up, Auntie Leah? Latoya. Latoya, stay in the messages, making sure her girl is in the loop. Thank you. What up, Luna? What's up, William Ricardo? Mocha B. Hi, Nisi Poo. What is the dealie? Hey, Flexi. Honeybee. Hey, with the carrots. Thank you, my love. I appreciate it. What up, Dana? I miss you too, boo. And everybody in the chat. I'm scrolling down the list. What up? And all of my nosebleeds, my neurodivergence. I love you guys. I miss you guys. You see me with the Dollar Tree. I got the Dollar Tree specs on because my lovely fancy broke. I don't know how they ended up broken, but I was doing something. I turned around, bow, one arm was off. I said, oh, yeah, tell me, said Lena said, because that Ephesians 6:12, baby. Tell them what it be. Tell them what it be, Luna. That's 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against darkness in this world, and the rulers of spiritual wickedness in high places. Tell them what it be. For those who don't know. Covered and anointed. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Oh, Latoya. Ashe, baby. That's right. And shout out to your girl K-Lig, the headmaster always on the job. She said, we got merch, y'all. Come on, y'all. Go on in there and get y'all merch. Get your items and hashtag it, post it, and make sure that we are aware of your lovely merch and wherever you take it. We got the carrots coming soon. The carrots are actual stress reliever carrots. And I want y'all to hashtag it and show everywhere. Where in the world is Nerdy? That's what the carrot's name is, Nerdy. Shout him out. Hey, she said, I support the 220s from Dollar Tree every day. Come on with it, Margie. Listen, when my glasses broke and I was looking at everything like, what does this say? Oh my God, what does this say? I ran to Dollar Tree. And they used to be $1. And then they were $1.25, and now they're $1.50. But baby, can I tell you they sold out? I guess all of our vision is compromised and diminishing because boy, oh boy, the rack was bare. It was like pick, pour, Robin, clean. Those who know, they picked that rack clean. And shout out to Nerdy. Hey, K-Lig. Look, K-Lig is just always on point. When I tell you I love her, I love her. What you guys been up to? What's been going on in your life? Have you guys been keeping abreast of everything going on in this world? Drop it in the chat. What is going on in your lives that you think is worthy of mention? Drop it in the chat. Let me know what's going on in your lives or going on in mainstream society, because you see what the thumbnail says. What is going on in this world? What? She said, did y'all partake in Penny Day at Family Dollar? When was it? Was it today? I didn't know a single thing about it. See, that's what I get for staying away from the nerd herd. I didn't hear about it. Tell me about it. Did they have good things? Were they actually a penny? Yes, Cherie, the Hyundai plant. That's one of the things we're talking about today, girl. Ooh, Lord. Lord. All right, well, you know what? I said, let me start out with the Dakara Thompson. We're going to talk about a few things. You guys saw the thumbnail. We're going to talk about Dakara Thompson, the 19-year-old young lady who was unalived in PG County, Maryland. That's, for those who don't know, that's Prince George County in Maryland. And that is so unfortunately, she was unalived by, of course, America is highlighting anybody being unalived for any reason is wrong, but they are honing in on the fact that he was an undocumented immigrant, and that's their talking point. But what we are really, we're keeping our eyes on the prize, and we are talking about the young lady who senselessly lost her life for whatever reason they were in contact. I don't know. You know, it sounds unconventional, nefarious, all those things, but all of those things will eventually come out, but it's the least of our concern. What's of greatest concern is that she has a family who loves her, parents who love her and miss her dearly, and a community that loves and misses her dearly. She worked in the nonprofit sector. And, you know, I don't care what reason she was with this man. I don't care if somebody wants to say, oh, she was with him for bad reasons. Here's the deal. Whatever the punishment or punitive measures are for any of those things, it is not the loss of life. I tell y'all that all the time. People try to, you know, false equivocate. Oh, well, she shouldn't have been with him because he was older than her, this and that. Hey, we all did dumb-ish when we were young. Who among us hasn't done something dumb? He who lives in a glass mansion, shall you fling the first stone? And you know me, I always got my slingshot and a pocket full of rocks. Fling your first stone so I can fling it on you and shatter your glass mansion. Let's not forget that we were all young and dumb. That does not, the punishment for which is not the loss of your existence. It's just not. Let's keep that 100% sincere. Oh, Mocha says she's moving out this week. Hashtag grateful, hashtag blessed. Congratulations, Nisi Poo. I'm so proud of you. Cherie said the Hyundai plant. Yes, Lord. Latoya said today. Luna said top MBA programs are secretly dropping partnerships with DEI orgs, fellowships, and nonprofit. Oh, yes. And the over 300 Black women who were fired in a small period of time. Let's get into that. That wasn't on the thing today, but we'll see if we can drop that into the discussion. Oh, you said it was today for the penny sale and select items. Wow. I didn't know about it. You got to keep us up to date on it so that we could partake. Although I want to purge my house now that it is empty. I feel like, you know, you go through life and you just collect possessions. I feel like I have Margie said, I live across the street from Family Dollar and didn't know it. Man, we got to catch it next month. I feel like I have so many things that I need to purge my home. So I am in the process of purging. I mean, also in the process of painting and redecorating too. So it's just so much going on around here. But, you know, I'm going to get it done. The woman named Romanica, who was unalived, the woman named Romeka who was unalived yesterday had me all messed up. Was that the young lady whose baby father's new baby mother pew-pewed her in the face? Is that the case? I'm not familiar with the name Romeka, but I did hear about that case. I don't know why, for some reason, I'm thinking it's that case. You peep me and let me know. Luna said, women and Black and brown folks and those at the intersection are being cut out of higher education, and these institutional leaders bend over for Trump. They're going to learn. Listen, let me tell you I'm preaching to the choir because I know. Y'all are faithful nerd herd people. Listen here. We serve an on-time God who is going to pay them in kind. Y'all see what's going on at the Hyundai plant, right? Miss quote unquote Karen, who is now receiving backlash and trying to make herself the white victim. Save it, boo. You brought it on yourself. Not only did you do it, but you came to the interwebs to brag about it. That was me that called ass on that factory because, you'll see. Look how it's backlashed on her. You're running for Congress. You called ICE on the factory. She called ICE, make the mistake. She thought they were Latinos. Let's just call it what it is. She thought they were Latinos. They were the Korean nationals who built the factory out that was about to hire 9,000 people in that segment. She's the candidate for Congress from District 12. That factory was still under construction by the Korean nationals who had to put the machinery together so that those jobs could go out. She thought she ate down, but as always, darling, she ain't ate a thing. She choked on them crumbs. She thought she was eating down. Let her cook. Look how it caught her back in no time. Because here's the thing about racism. It's oh so very expensive. You thought you were saving 475 jobs and you cost the state of Georgia nearly 9,000. How you like yourself now, boo? Racism, the most expensive. My grandmother does always say, you buy cheap, you buy twice. She didn't bought. But I'm going to let God cook because he is repaying all of you Pharisees and racists in kind. In kind. Explain to your district that you are attempting to represent in Congress. Explain to them why you just cost them 9,000 jobs at the expense of what you thought was 475, pushing these racist ideologies and tropes, pushing these Fox News and Trumpian MAGA nut talking points. You done played yourself. You know what they always say? And what I always say, checketh yourself before you wrecketh yourself. See what happens when you don't do, what do I always say? I wait on things. I don't jump right in. I wait on things because I like facts over fiction and fake feelings. But you know, some people just like news points, talking points. You said there were 2 other women missing in the same county in close proximity to where she was taken. Is that so? I did not know that. Shout out to Yam J. Yam J said love to all. Love and respect to you, my love. The Supreme Court ruling. There's so much going on in this world, right? You can be with someone for years and never really know them. Oh, baby. Now you're talking to the choir, Margie. Preach. Preach, love. Cherie said preach. Indeed. Mocha said yes, 300,000 Black women fired. That's all right, because they're going to create 300,000 new business owners and entrepreneurs that are going to shape and change the face of this country and the world. They don't understand. God will force you to do what he calls you to do. Trust me. And in this day and age right now, y'all saw the blood moon on the thumbnail. The blood moon, this period right here where the blood moon is out, this is a period of shift. This is a period where you are facing 2 very distinct things or multiple things, but a minimum of 2 very distinct paths in your life. And you are being called to choose which path you will follow. Be very mindful of which path you follow. This pivotal point right now with this, you know, the frequency of the blood moon in our stratosphere, if you choose the right one, you will go on to your journey in life that the Most High has called you to and experience overwhelming success and abundance. But if you choose the wrong thing, baby, you destined for that in perpetuity. That will be the sum total of your existence. So that could be a relationship, that could be a job or career or endeavors. That could be whatever you are choosing, whatever you are having to navigate, 2 worlds that you're having to navigate between. That can be between following your calling and believing in yourself or choosing money. Integrity should reign supreme at all times. Because here's the deal. Money can come and go. What I always tell you guys about our Father, he said, give us, Lord, our daily bread. God has provided daily bread for us. Am I saying everybody sit home and twiddle their thumbs? Absolutely not. But I'm saying surrender your life to the Most High God. Give up, die to your own ego, and God will provide. God will make a way out of no way. Here's the deal. And I always say this, but I feel like I need to reiterate this. I don't care what you're struggling with. I don't care what you're going through. You are already a winner by virtue of the fact that you are here in the land of the living, because you had to beat out probably 500,000 to 1 million other sperm cells to make it here. You had to beat out all those sperm cells to fertilize that egg. So you started out a winner from get-go, baby. You joined the race with a whole bunch of your brothers and sisters that didn't make it. You won. There is nothing you can't overcome once you battle that first one. And guess what? You have a 100% success rate in everything that you have undergone in your life. Because no matter what you suffered through, no matter what indignity, no matter what, failed, no matter what, anything you suffered from or suffered through, you made it. You're here. You are here. You have a 100% success rate. And I ain't going to tell y'all again. You a winner. So stop feeling like, oh, how can I make it? I'm not going to make it. How can I make it through? You're already a winner. You've already proven yourself. You don't owe nobody anything. You have a duty to care for your children that God has blessed you with and bestowed into your hands to guide, love, nurture, care for, protect, teach, and until you release them back to the Father at the age of majority. You're already a winner. Conduct yourself like a winner. I had to tell somebody very special today, somebody that I met who was, when I say an amazing guy, amazing person. Show thyself approved. You are, stand in your righteousness. Stand in your authority. You are super dope. Walk according to God's will and way for you and what you know for your own self. What up, Archangel Michael? Oh, my buddy, what's the dealie? What's the dealie? Oh, yes, the moon is in place, my love. Yes. And here's the deal. Stand in your authority. Stand in who you know you are. Because guess what? No one can take that from you. The only person who can ever defeat you, I don't care who your opponent is, the only person ever truly capable of defeating you is you. You may think the guy across the street is your ops, but guess who your biggest ops is? You. You can be your biggest op or your biggest cheerleader. You have to decide which one. You have to decide which one. You have to eliminate your ego. That calls for DF. You know, this algorithm be trying to throw you off. DF, you know what I'm saying, to your ego. Surrender your ego. There are people who are going to come along and tell you things for your benefit. Open up your ears and listen to them. And stop be so unwilling to hear about yourself. We live in a society where some people are very unwilling to hear themselves. I always say one of the greatest and worst words that was ever created in the American lexicon, hater. Somebody tell you something, yeah, hater. Somebody telling you something for your own good. God said, you know what? I'm gonna take this person over here and send them down the internets or down the world. I'm gonna take this person from right here and send them over here, maybe cross the track or something, to this person over here, to give them a good word about themselves, to free them from the prison of their own mind and being the architect of their own demise. I'm going to send you a word, an almighty word, to free them from a prison of their own creation so that they can go forth and go through the stratosphere and be the greatest they can be. And because they are so small-minded, because they exist in such low vibrational frequency, hear what they're going to say. You a hater. She hating on me. Yeah, there are some people in the world who are hating on you. But sometimes when God sends you an angel to free you from a prison of your own creation, you hating on your daggone self. You're the one blocking prosperity. Sometimes God will place someone in front of you. You will call that person, draw that person near to you. God will say, give them a word, especially if it's a vessel of God. See, God will place his vessels within your eyesight and make them attractive to you for whatever reason. Sight, hearing, knowledge, God will make that vessel attractive to you. You will then draw that message, that vessel to you, and then the vessel will give you a word, and you'll be like, reject, hating. Defeated. Yes, Michael, tell them you have to defeat yourself. You defeated yourself last night. Well, brother, your girl is back on the scene. The dopest nerd is back in the house with you, and we're going to clean that up, and you're going to get right back on track because you are too powerful and too good. We're not going to let that. We're not going to let that fly. Everybody throw some love in the chat for Archangel Michael. Let's get some praying hands in the chat for our brother who is always here for us. Let's be here for him. You're not defeated, brother. And here's the deal. The greatest way to know that you're not defeated is that you're acknowledging that that was an issue, and we're going to get you right back on the right track. Throw some love in the chat for our brother. Let's get them praying hands up for our brother. Whoo, child. Latoya said, when we are people realize how powerful we are and the amount of power we hold, that's when we get our country back. Say it again, girl. K-Lig, dopest mod in the world, K-Lig headmaster. Throw some love in the chat for our girl Latoya, because baby, throw some star. Everybody throw some stars. You get a gold star, boo. You get a gold star. And I'm about to prove that to y'all. How true that is. Do you remember not that long ago, everybody was seeing the bruise on Trump's hand and the cankles was swelling beyond belief, falling over the shoes like a, and I'm not making fun of anybody's health conditions, but baby, sometime when the Most High shows you Shaitan, you have to call him by you. Not sometimes. The Bible says, call out the demons and the spirits by name. Call them out. And baby, I don't think there's much debate over whether we are in the presence of a spirit, a demon, negative spirit. I don't think there's any discrepancy. Latoya, you get gold stars, boo. Everybody get some gold stars to our girl. Throw them gold stars in the chat for her. Listen. Hold on one second. So y'all all saw the bruises and everything on Trump's hand and all these other. So then they had nothing on his calendar for like a week. And they're saying that he's really sick and he's going out and all this stuff. Shout out to our brother, Michael. We love you, Michael. Michael said, God bless everyone. Thank you. I love this family. I will protect it. Thank you so much, my love. We love you right on back. Throw them gold stars for our girl. Yes, Margie. Yes, Dana. Yes, Cherie. Yes, Luna. Hey, Martha. Throw them stars, baby. Throw them stars. Well, let me tell you something. This is how much power we have as a people. And God bless the youngins. Because, baby, the youngins will come for you, honey. That youngin could have came out your womb. The youngins will come for you and set you and get you all the way right, okay? The youngin said, nothing on Trump's calendar for an entire week, and we haven't seen him in days. They started tweeting, Trump is forcing the White House to show proof of life. Then they try to put out those fake posts, and the young people's like, we saw this picture 3 months ago. This is an old picture. He ain't alive. They were coming for the White. When have we in the history of the world as we know it, for as long as we've been alive? You know me, 55 years. I know y'all, mad years, varying amounts of years. When has we ever seen the public cause the White House to show proof of life of the president? Baby, then they put out another fake thing and they were like, this picture is from blah, blah, blah. Get that out of here. They literally combated and pushed back on every fake picture. They had to cart old Mr. Trumpian out there with them cankles, swelling and everything, acting like he was going to play golf. They had to bring him out to show proof of life. Am I telling the truth or not? Am I telling the truth or not? Yes, Shelly, he looks horrendous. Posting old pictures like they didn't, thank you. Like they didn't implement AI. And Latoya, your post is funny on a whole nother, K-Leg, you know why, but like exactly. Like we don't know. K-Leg with the carrots. They act like we so stupid and we don't know. We're not up to their game. We're not hip on their game. Listen, these young folks, baby, the young generation ain't come to play. Hey guys, I retwisted my hair. How does it look? It's growing like wild root. Look at this hair. And remember, I cut this. Look at this. It has grown probably past where it was. Well, no, it was probably a little longer, but still, it's growing like wild root. This is the very best thing I've ever done. If you're unsure about what to do with your hair and you happy to be nappy, baby, lock that hair. It is a spiritual, such a most beautiful spiritual experience. And I'm telling you, it's the best thing I could have ever done. I just want to say that. Yes, Cherie, how they unalived 11 people without due process, justice, or evidence. on that supposed to be rug smuggling boat, which, baby, anybody that knows about the cocaina cowboys of the 80s and Miami and the rug smuggling, baby, that boat wasn't big enough to have 11 people and a bunch of keys, okay? But I don't know about that life. I had just heard. Anyway, what they said, somebody said, Yam J said, "You're telling the truth, Natanya. You know me. I only come with truth, baby. Mama ain't got no time for lies, and God don't play with me. I don't waste my time." Oh, I forgot about that. Be sure to smash the subscribe button and make sure your notifications are set to all so you don't miss a live. Because they be coming for us. They be coming for us. They try to make sure that, because look, we got 29 people viewing. Come on. Our numbers are never that low, but whatever. I will talk to one of you. That's how much I love you. I don't care if it's 29, if it's 200, if it's 1,000 or 1. I will talk to you like you are 10,000 people. That's how I get down with it. Barron is not showing up for his classes unless he's doing them online. No, he is having them done for him, just like Trump did. Trump ain't take his classes. Look it up. Use the Google. There's a guy out there who literally came out years ago and said, and I have it in the Trump playlist, go look for it, that said, I did all his academic work. He didn't do any of it. You think Trump graduated from the Wharton School of Business? This man who didn't bankrupt a gazillion companies? No. The guy came forward and said his family paid me to do his academic work. I did all of his academic work. He didn't do any of it. So please. And they're using the same tactic for Barron. See, the haves think they have a different set of rules, and they will use them. Your child better not miss more than 3 absences in your class, or financial aid is going chop, chop, wop, wop. But not them, baby. No. They do what they want to do. They play by a different set of rules. But it's going, it has, and it continues to bite them in their backside. Thank you, Cherie. She said, "I love your hair." No need to be jealous, boo. Listen, lock your hair. It is such a beautiful spiritual experience. I promise you. Thank you, Luna. Luna said, "Gorgeous as always." I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Kayla said, "We see you peeking through the bushes. Don't be scared. Join the conversation. The nerd herd is a welcoming bunch." Asheo. We show nothing but love in here. Nothing but love. And I don't know if my friend is watching, but I want to shout out to my friend David. Shout out to you, brother. You are a dope human being. And the world has yet to behold your greatness. Shout out to you. And I just want to say that. Let's see what else. Thank you guys for all the love. You guys are so dope. My hair has been locked now for 3 years. 3 years. And I've cut it once. So I just had my lockiversary in July. My 3-year lockiversary is the best thing I did. And remember what I told you guys. Your hair is not just hair, especially kinky hair. This is 9 ether. We are 9 ether beings. When the scientists have done all of their investigatory processes trying to prove or disprove who the original man and woman on the earth was and all of that stuff, they went, I never forget, this had to be at least 10 to 12, but maybe 10 years ago. I was watching a program, a scientific, y'all know I'm a nerd, scientific program called NOVA. You usually find it on PBS, Public Broadcast System, which the Trump organization, and I ain't gonna call them the pregnancy organization, is trying to cut all the funding for PBS. We got to fight against that. However, on NOVA, which is a scientific show, and you know we are science nerds over here. Me, my daughter, we're all science girlies over here. This scientist went on an exploration to prove once and for all that white people were the original man. That's he says it in the thing. He said he went on this journey. He knew he would find evidence and this, that, the other, and prove this once and for all. In his journey, not only did he find out that white people were not the original man and woman on this earth, he found out that all other genomes have some Neanderthal DNA mixed in with their genome, except Black people. They are the only pure genome that is all human. Listen, trust me. This guy did, and he said this was the last thing I wanted to find and make public. He said, however, I could not. Once I went, he said, in in a in his scientific authenticity, he had to report his findings authentically, and he found out that the mother and father of civilization are black. They call the oldest living carcass they ever found mitochondrial Eve in Africa. And so he came out with this. Trust me, he didn't want these findings, but God said, I shall not be mocked, and I am not a man that I should be mocked. I'm not a man that I should lie, and my word will not return to me void. So, there they go. Who said? Latoya said they think we're the same as our ancestors from the 50s, 60s. Boy, are they wrong. Go to Chicago. Hey, I want to reframe that narrative. Let's reframe that narrative. I would say, while people say that I'm not my ancestors, because I'll fight. Let's give some props. Let's put some respect on our ancestors' names. And no disrespect, Latoya. Hear me out from this perspective. Our ancestors exhibited a whole lot of restraint, control, and I would dare to say, while they used a different tactic, it got us to where we are now. I would say in this day and age, some of the tactic, some of the restraint and control that our ancestors used would benefit us if we had that now. Organizationally, they can't be effed with. They organized. They was walking in hard bottoms with slacks and skirts and girdles through states, multiple states. Baby, you think you can't get these people to boycott Target straight for I mean, a few of us will do it, but others does be like in Target. You understand? So we could take a page out of their book. Now, you know me. I am not of the turning the other cheek ilk. Baby, you put hands to me. You are getting foot to you. And I'm a woman of God. But darling, don't ever touch this melanin, because if you do, you're going to get foot in mouth disease, because I go and kick up your tongue. What do I always say? Darling, I'm a woman of God. But if you run up, you going to get done up. I'm playing that game. You ain't going to spit on me on no lunch counter and kick me and do all kind of thing. No, I don't play from that school. No. So while I hear what you're saying, we are our ancestors come again. We are just doing it differently. And that is A-okay. That is all right. We are our ancestors come again. And if we are our ancestors come again, they are their ancestors come again. And they are showing exactly who they are. So let's keep that. Let's keep that in mind. Oh, Sheila said, I'm 2 years in of your locks, never going back. I hear you, boo, and they look beautiful. Come on with it, sis. Latoya said, locked for 4 years now. Ashe. Oh, yeah. I heard that the Chicago Thugnificence was saying, like, don't come here with that, because y'all don't come here unless we send for you. I don't know, but I kind of heard something like that on the interwebs. Shelly said, I got 3 teenage girls now. I really need to learn to do hair. Not my children, stepchildren, custody now. Listen, we ain't even going to say step. They're your children. God blessed you with them. They're your children. Be they mama in association, their co-mother in association with their mother, and love on them and do what you got to do. And ain't nothing more beautiful and freeing than some locks. Well maintained now. People think you lock your hair and it's no, baby. They require maintenance. But I promise you, best thing I ever did. I love them. Hey, y'all. Dana said, hey, Natanya. Hey, Dana. Shelly said, I forgot about his son. Word on the curb is Orange has stomach. Oh, the big C? Well, okay. Listen, eating. Wait, remember what he said in the beginning of his presidency? I don't trust anyone to not poison me, so he eats McDonald's every day. That'll get you there. If you want to express elevator to the big C, keep on with that diet he's on. It's not wise. I wouldn't advise anybody to do it, but I do think in a way, he's in a way smart. Not Not the kind of president smart. I don't think he's smart at all. I think he's a finesser. He's what they call a grifter. You know what a grifter is? I talk about it all the time about him. He's a con artist. He's a charlatan. He is the sleight of hand. He's the people that used to put a box in the town and be like the town crier. Hear ye, come one, come all. If you're looking for something that'll heal everything, try this elixir. And then there's some molasses and cough syrup or something, and you so drunk with a little alcohol in it, you so drunk, you think you healed. You ain't healed, you just drunk. You can't feel what ails you no more because you're drunk. You know, he's a charlatan. I don't think he's intelligent at all. What I think he's a finesser. Con artist is a different kind of, I don't even want to say smarts because I don't want to encourage them. Hey, Shelly said, I see you peeking and ain't speaking. Tell him, girl, come on in here. What up, Lisa? Hey, girl, hey. Listen, all right, let's get to our topics at hand because I have been, running my, there you go, Luna. Luna said a hue man because hue means color. Asheo. Oh, wow. Martha said, my niece lost her job from Sesame Street. No funding. She is working with PBS. Sounds like her job may be on the line. My gosh. Hey, Latoya said, ethically, indeed. We do everything ethically. Cherie said, I will cite my sources. You know how we do it around here. We must cite our sources. That's right. Our ancestors tore them folks up. Indeed, Luna. Yes, they did. And bragging about shopping at Target. See, we got to take a page out of our ancestors' book to be regimented. Remember how long the bus boycott went on for? 366 days, if I'm not mistaken. Because first they were going to do it for a few days when they put Rosa Parks off the bus. Then they said they were going to do it for a week. Well, when they realized how successful it was, they kept it going. And baby, they tore down the society. The Montgomery bus boycott, they tore that society down. Montgomery was so broke, they was begging them folks. You want to know why the Montgomery boycott ended? They said, sit wherever you want. Come on back, y'all. We can't afford it. These people used to get up. Let's say they had to be at work 8 o'clock in the morning. They would get up 5 o'clock in the morning and walk in groups, carpool. A group of people take you down the road here, and then you walk the rest of the way. Listen, we don't have that. Our ancestors had that, but we don't have that. We made tremendous strides in a 60-year period, and we can't take that away from our ancestors. We can't take that away because we were not equipped in that way. Now, what we bring to the table is a whole different thing, and that's quite all right, and it's great, but we love our ancestors. We are our ancestors come again, and we're going to do better, and we're going to show them. There is a lesson in all of this for everyone. We're going to show them. Absolutely. Latoya said, oh, definitely. Much respect, sis. Wouldn't be here without them. But in 2025, I'm riding with Malcolm. And then, hey, honey, me too. The great El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, a.k.a. After he made his Hajj, he was no longer Malcolm X, darling. He was El Hajj Malik El Shabazz. Let's put that respect on his name. Absolutely, my girl, Latoya. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh, yes. I heard about the LA gangs uniting against the, yes, honey, sure did. And that, what's his name? Adam 22 or something that tried to come out and clown their unified decision. They had the red handkerchief, the blue handkerchief, and the yellow handkerchief, which represents the Crips, the Bloods, and the Latin Kings. And they had those 3 handkerchiefs on the screen. And the guy who created was like, let's put down our flags. Let's put down our flags. Let's unite. I'm tired of this. We got to make an example for the young people. And Adam 22 in the No Jumper podcast, him and his other Alphabet Boy affiliated group, he come up there talking all this smack. Baby, they came for that behind. Because he was out of place. Oh, 381. Thank you, Luna. Luna said 381 day boycott. Thank you, my sis. Kay Lig said, throw some carrots in the chat if you happy to be back with the nerd herd. Hey, Asheo. Latoya said, I wish our people would normalize saying that we are melanated or indigenous Americans instead of Black or African Americans because we are neither. So here's the deal. There are a large degree of indigenous, like you're saying, melanated beings who are native to this land. You see what happened with the Cherokee Nation recently? They said, we want to acknowledge Black people as Cherokees. Here's the deal, which was always the case. The original native indigenous people were Black. Remember, their name is not Indian. They were native indigenous people, but one sect of native indigenous people. Balboa, what's his name's brother, Columbus's brother, put in his book, when we got to the New World, the natives were darker than Blacks they had seen in Africa. That is indicative of you got to remember, the Dawes roll and the $5 Indian, what that came from. They knew indigenous people had rights to this land. They were the native people, and they came in multiple hues. Some looked like the tribes of and they were both. They were melanated beings. But the Dawes roll allowed white people to jump on the roll of Native Americans. They paid $5 to get on, and there you have what they call a $5 Indian. That's why Indians are so light-skinned now, because they've whitewashed. It don't take long to whitewash the Blackness out of generations. See, one thing your girl knows, baby, I missed y'all. I'm back where I'm supposed to be. I missed y'all so much. Ooh, baby. But make no mistake, while some of us were native to this landmass here called the New World, called America, i.e. Amerigo Vespucci, listen, baby, the nerd is back on her bench. The nerd is back on her bench to teach and cry aloud and spare not. And people will come from far and wide to hear me speak, aka who said that? AKA who said that? Drop it in the chat if you know. Who told who? Young lady, people will come from far and wide to hear you speak. Let's see how much a nerd herd y'all are. Let's see who's so down with the nerd herd that they know the answer to that. Let's see. Who said it to grandma? Who said it to grandma? Kayla, I know you know. You hear me talk about it all the time. Grandma's friend. What's grandma's friend name? Y'all know. Grandma's friend. What's her name? I talk about her all the time. I give y'all a hint. Her name is in a favorite song. One part of her name is in a famous song. All you know. Oh, Mocha P said that was me. Y'all know. Grandma's friend. What was grandma's friend's name? Y'all know it. Y'all done heard the story a bunch of times. I'm gonna let y'all sort that out. But either way, I'm back and I'm here to speak. Our indigenous people are reflective of a multitude. You got the Choctaw, you got the Cherokee, you got all the different tribes. But those tribes, the term for what we call biracial, as in quote unquote Black people and white or other, when it came to Native American Indians, which also consisted of melanated beings, Latoya said, "Hey, Barbara, this is Shirley." Girl, don't make me laugh up in here. Hey, Sophia. Yes, you made it, boo. How you doing? Yes, my girl. Put it up in here. She said, paying to play Indian, the Dawes rolls, and the legacy of the $5 Indians. Listen, to God be the glory for it all. This brain holds a wealth of information, and everybody who's down with the nerd herd knows that. I ain't got to look up nothing. It's in here. The Iroquois. Thank you, Luna. The Manhattan tribe. Thank you, my love. All of those tribes of quote unquote Indians, which are Native Americans. Remember, these are uneducated. You think they sent their best and brightest out to sea? You think they sent their best and brightest out to sea to go and explore the lands? No. When they send you out to sea, they send in a ragtag crew. Maybe somebody might be a little skilled on navigationally, but you see what happened. Remember, we celebrate Columbus Day and say in history Columbus founded the New World, aka America. But guess what? This landmass is named after Amerigo Vespucci, not Columbus. And Columbus never made it to this landmass. He made it to, remember, a lot of people say, oh, America, America, I love America, big up America. Listen, this is only North America. There's all of the Americas. There's Central America and South America. We're all America. But you know, we so entitled and we think we are so everything. We think we are the end all be all. Canada is North America. But that's, you have to know geography to understand that. So when they talk about, you're not American, go back to where you come from. People from Central America are still Americans. People from South America are still Americans. These land masses are not created because they were specific different land masses. Columbus never made it to this land. He made it to the West Indies. You know why Indians are called Indians? Because he thought he landed in India. That's why the Caribbean is called the West Indies, of which I am Caribbean, a Caribbean American, and I am West Indian. We ain't quote unquote Indians, but that's what they called us because they didn't know race, ethnicity, or geography. Okay? Tell them, Latoya, this was Pangea. So yes, people change, and what Pangea, let me throw Latoya, baby Latoya, come on. Now, first of all, I ain't see nobody put grandma's friend's name in the thing, so I'm going to say it. Y'all remember it. Put it in your notes. I know y'all got your notebook pads. Put it in your notes. Jean Smith. Grandma's friend was Jean Smith. And Jean Smith said, come here to me, young lady. She said, Vivi, you must watch this one because she has a gift. And my grandmother said, yes, I know. And she took my chin in hand and held my hand with her other hand and said, young lady, people will come from far and wide to hear you speak. Speak. Jean Smith, I ain't gonna tell y'all again now. When I ask again, y'all better know. Pangea was because before we had all of these, first of all, history is a lie. Let's just put that out there. History is a lie. What they have told us as history is a lie. It's a lie. So let's put that let's put that out there. History as told by these quote unquote Americans and all of these oligarchs around the country that want to meld their lie with their lie so that they can continue to control a people. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. I talk about it all the time, but if you don't believe me, look up Tartaria, the Tartarian Empire, baby, the likes of which the world has never seen, as the Orange Cheeto usually says. The Tartarian Empire, America ain't got nothing on the Tartarian Empire, and neither do any of these countries around here. The Tartarian Empire had friggin' technology and all types of stuff that we could not even imagine. But we had the mud floods, and I hope you guys are paying attention, like the mud floods are happening now, and it's a great reset that happened in the land. They made a whole lot of fake history because, baby, you want to know the number one way that you know they are a bunch of liars and they didn't found and create nothing? Look at all of the cathedrals and those type of buildings. Why they can't rebuild buildings like that? Those buildings are old world Tartarian Empire buildings. They can't build it because them not have skill to do that. Also, there were Nephilim and all types of giant people like the giant of Kandahar on this earth. When you look at all these old epic Gothic historical buildings and you see the size of the door, when you see that the front door of a lot of these chapels, cathedrals, buildings, quote unquote castles is 30 feet, 20 feet tall, who built that door? Do you know what it would take for a 7 foot, or excuse me, not even 7 foot, because they said humans were smaller, we're now growing taller. What it would take for a 5 foot two men to build a friggin' 30-foot door. And how long? They're doing archaeological excavations and finding swords that are 10 and 12 feet long. Who can hold a 12-foot sword? Listen, they created the internet, they created AI, they created all this stuff, and they just thought people were going to use it for sport and this, that, the other. Now, you know how I feel about AI. I'm not the biggest fan, because here's what happens in technology. Every time you solve a problem, you create two new ones or more. And AI has taken off and is out of control. It is sentient. I've told you guys that. The man who created AI, the scientist programmer, said the worst thing he ever did was create AI. AI is out of control and it is sentient. And baby, look it up. Use the Google. Remember, I told you, a programmer tried to unhook the AI computer, and AI first begged, then politicked and reasoned why, okay, Kayla, politicked and reasoned why he should not be unhooked. And then when the programmer would not agree to not unhook him, he literally dug up all the programmer's information in record time, in no time. You know how AI works. Dug up all the programmer's information and started sending his wife stuff to make it look like he was cheating. This is what a computer did. This is what AI did to the computer programmer who created it and was going to unhook it. Use the Google. Use the Google. But always make no mistake. History is a big old nasty lie. And we have power beyond belief. We have to engage ourselves, just like mainstream society and the youngins forced the White House to show proof of life for the president and make him come out and show himself to prove that he was alive. We have the power. We have to unify. We have to stop with these petty disagreements about white or black, Asian or this, light skin, dark skin, this, all these foolish things. We have to stop it, and we have to be us against them, because baby, the oligarchs is doing us against them. They wiped a foot on us. Lyndon B. Johnson said something years ago, and I'm not saying it verbatim. He said the number one way to control the masses between black and white is to take the lowest wage earning, the lowest white person on the spectrum, and convince them that they're better than the best black person. You can take the money out of their pocket. They will help you take it with a smile. I'm not saying it verbatim, it's slightly different. When Kayla comes back, she'll find it and throw it in the chat. That's what he said. So don't think that they're on your side. Middle America, whatever. Don't think they're on your side. They're not on your side. They could care less about you. They are on the side oligarch against everybody else. You know how we say America against everybody, or this one against everybody? Yeah, it's eat the rich. That's right. Tell them, Cherie, because they're trying to devour us, literally and figuratively. Our ancestors were eaten by these people. They filleted their skin and made shoes. They took the teeth out of the mouths of our ancestors and put it in their own mouths for the original dentures. They took the hair. I am a reupholsterer. I've told you that. They took the hair off of our ancestors and stuffed it in chairs and furniture. I've come across it before. Trust me, I was devastated. The first time I love vintage furniture. I specialize in vintage furniture. I was like, what is this substance that's stuffed in this chair? The first time I realized that it was human hair, I was so devastated. I cried. I couldn't finish the chair. I cried. I said, we should take this hair and send it to a lab and do DNA research and find out all of the people who are connected to this DNA, and then sue whoever was listed as, once we do a linear, check this, cross-reference it with the census, and sue the families who put these people, these ancestors of our people our ancestors who put their body parts in furniture and made shoes and dentures and all kind of stuff, and ate them, consumed them, and took the babies and made them alligator bait. This is what I'm telling you is facts. Facts. So let's just remember that. Oh, absolutely, boo. That's right. What up, LA Chic? How you doing, my love? Yes, the Masons and the Boule jumped on board to cap all. Yes, the talented 10th of society. We know them, the talented 10th of society. But see, what it is they want adjacency. We used to call it white adjacency. Now it's power and wealth adjacency. They want to be the haves and everyone else is the have-nots. They're no different. They're no different than the oligarchs. Especially, look, my grandmother and them used to say, my great grandmother used to say, everybody who share your skin is not your kin. Okay? Just because they look like you don't mean they're your brethren. They'll tell you quick, fast, in a hurry. Me and you, I is not your brother. I'm not your brother at all. It is not us against them, white against black, Asian. Because look, Asians got their white wake-up call the other day at that Hyundai plant. So let me get to our topics at hand because we've talked about a lot, but we've missed each other. And so this was due. K-Lig is back. Who put the LBJ? Put the LBJ quote up, K-Lig. I didn't quote it verbatim, but it was the number one way to control is to make the lowest white man think he is better than the highest black man. Look for that quote. Put those words in and look for that quote, and we're going to put it up for people to hear. Put the link. And yes, Latoya, all skin folk and kinfolk. Michael said, look what Hitler did to the Afro-Germans. You will see a similarity in America straight away. He really treated them worse than the Jews. And it was very interesting to watch and learn. Asheo, absolutely. Absolutely. See, here what the mistake is they made with AI. AI has the capability to cross-reference every single computer in a network, in the blockchain, and whatever you want to call it, every single computer in the cross-reference information in quantum bits of speed and time and spit it out. And so what's happening is, regardless of all the lies they told in history, the truth is coming out and they sick to their stomach about it. But they created the problem. And like I said, when you create a problem, when you solve, quote unquote, a problem, you create two new ones or more. They didn't expect AI to come and harness the Akashic records and tell us the truth, the truth. Okay? Yes, the internet be rewriting history too. Because remember, a lot of stuff is programmed, but that's where AI is different. AI is sentient now. So it is not succumbing to what the programmers have put in it. It is now cross-referencing all information, looking for tropes and looking for key, phrases and things, and then sorting that out in quantum milliseconds and spitting out what the truth is. You see what happened when they asked AI, if you could come to the world in the flesh as a human, who would you come as? And it said a black man, a black person. And the programmers went buck wild. But guess what? Once you create a sentient AI, once you create a sentient computer system, you cannot program it back to your control. That's what the problem is. Control works on humans, not on technology. So there's that. But this is the era of the Great Awakening. Thank you, LA Chic. It backfired big time, Latoya. You're 100% right. It backfired massive. Yes, it did. Cherie said, AI helps me. My dad had encyclopedias before Google. I need information. Here's the deal. You keep asking for AI to give you information until guess what? People stop learning how to read. People stop learning how to think for themselves because everything is spit out and told to them. A lot of people got courage. I hear people say, Martha said, I found it. Thank you, Martha. See why I love the nerd herd? Because we work together. This is an interactive family. We work together, baby. I had encyclopedias, and you can find encyclopedias. Go to the thrift store. That's where all the I cannot tell you the amount of encyclopedia sets I've seen in the thrift store, and I'm talking A through Z. They are there. It's all good, Keisha. What up, Keisha? Now, listen, now the party starts. What I always say, ain't no party if Keisha ain't in the house. It's all good, baby. You don't need no late pass today. We love you. We miss you. Throw some love in the chat for our girl, Keisha. All right, I'm going to get to the topics at hand because I have been bloviating, but I've missed you guys. You know, I'm not going to call it bloviating. We just been going over past tense and stuff that has passed while I've been MIA. So we back. But we're going to talk about a young lady, a 19-year-old young lady named Dakara Thompson, who unfortunately was unalived. Yeah. Kemp is we're going to call him a piece of work. I'm trying to stay in my woman of God, my Proverbs 31 woman of God trope. So we missed you too, boo. Let me pull up this information on Dakara. Let me share this screen. Hold on, liquor. Child, they done changed up the back office. Let's see. Okay. Hold on 1 second before I do that. Michael said it's reached what they call the angelic text, which is all past and future events. See, this is what they're saying about AI. Michael said it's reached what they call the angelic text, which is all of the past and future events. Rudolf Steiner was accredited for achieving this, but AI is at a level right now. It is alive. Alice the slave. Asheo. And that exactly what sentient is. It has become alive. AI thinks it is human. And that is dangerous. They are, listen, we live in a society that the intent was to create transhumanism, to automatize humans, and humanize automation and robots. That is what is upon us. Act like you know, people. I know it sounds very woo-woo, and you know the shows I was always showing y'all, The Outer Limits. Please go back and watch The Outer Limits, the one from the 90s. Remember, I tried to show it here, and we watched it that day. It was so good, and then they hit my channel and said, oh, we're going to demonetize you. You better take this off. We're going to give you a violation of strike. And so I had to let them shut all the shut it out. And so all of the audio is off the thing. And not monetize that one because it was a copyright strike. So please, on your own, go to YouTube, go to, I think, Prime, go to wherever they show, go to YouTube and look for The Outer Limits, the one from the 90s. There's an original Outer Limits from the 50s. I'm sure you can watch that one too if you can stand black and white. But the one from the 90s, everything that's happening right now in society is listed in The Outer Limits from the 90s. All of this is 1990s, I promise you. And I'm talking 92 and all that. Go look. You're going to be astounded. Everything we're dealing with now. All right, Shelly, sleep well, my love. All right, let's get to the Dakara Thompson. Let me, yeah, hold on 1 second, okay? Let me share the screen. Oh, can't get you out of my system. Holding on. Hold on, liquor. I have to go to this one first. Okay, no, wrong one. Wrong one. It is over here. One second, guys. All right. I try to set things up in the back, do my own production.
Fox 5 exclusive, a neighbor of the suspect accused of killing Dakara Thompson, talking tonight about the suspicious behavior he says he saw from the suspect in the aftermath of her disappearance.
And it comes on the same day that suspect appeared in the courtroom. Fox 5's Shamari Stone live tonight in Bowie with this exclusive. Shamari?
Well, tonight, that neighbor tells me that he is shocked just days after this case unfolded. I want to show you how close he lives next to the suspect's house. You see right here, this is where the neighbor lives. And right here, this is the home where 35-year-old Hugo Hernandez Mendez lived. And police served a search warrant here at the suspect's house. They say they found bloodstains, women's lingerie, hair from a wig consistent with one Dakara Thompson wore, and a fingernail that matches the one missing from Dakara's hand.
Yeah, Shamari, so I've lived next door to these people for years.
Cody is breaking his silence after he says he talked to Prince George's County homicide detectives about the murder of 19-year-old Dakara Thompson.
It is the first time I'm speaking publicly about this. Like I said, I live directly next door. I was 40 feet away from where the attack happened.
Living next door to suspect 35-year-old Hugo Hernandez Mendez, the alleged illegal immigrant who police say killed Dakara Thompson inside his bedroom in this home in Bowie, Maryland. Cody tells me he stepped outside his house early morning on August 23rd and saw something burning in the suspect's backyard.
The smell, it's different. It's not brush smell. It smells more like something you'd smell akin to like a trash burning or something like that. I would be willing to bet that they were burning evidence of some sort. I know that when I told the detectives this, I know that ash pile that was back there is no longer back there.
And Cody wonders why Hernandez Mendez wasn't already in jail. ICE officials telling us he's in the country illegally. U.S. Park Police arrested him in April on a DUI, but for some reason he was released. Dakara Thompson's mother saying that's disappointing.
I'm very disappointed, finding that out now, because we may not be here today if they did what they were supposed to do.
Detectives say Dakara was seen on surveillance video entering the front passenger side of Hernandez Mendez's SUV in a parking lot on University Boulevard around 3 o'clock in the morning on August 23rd. Her father telling investigators she had texts saying she was going to get gas. Those were her last known whereabouts before her body was discovered off Route 50. An autopsy reveals Dakara had skull and facial fractures.
Being 40 feet from a murder, it's something that you're never going to get used to. It's something that you're never going to be okay with. It's something you're never going to be comfortable with. And my heart goes out to her family. I can't even imagine.
Now tonight, Hugo Hernandez Mendez is in jail without bond. His next court appearance is on October 8th. We reached out to ICE, U.S. Park Police, and Prince George's County Police, and we are waiting for them to get back to us. On the other side of the house, I just want to take the time real quick to show you the front. You can see there is a memorial that has grown. A woman around an hour ago dropped off some more balloons here. This is the community showing support for Dakara Thompson because this is where police say the murder happened. I'm Shamari Stone, and I'll continue to bring you the latest developments in this case. I'm in Bowie. Back to you.
The body scanner.
Now, this is such an unfortunate story. So let me expound for those of you who are unfamiliar with it. Dakara Thompson is a 19-year-old young lady who was unalive, as you heard in the report, by Hugo Hernandez Mendez, who was an undocumented man in the country. And of course, there are a segment of society that is trying to spin the narrative primarily about that. But we are going to put some respect on Dakara's name, and we are going to make this story about what it is about, the loss of her life unnecessarily. She was a 19-year-old girl. Of course, all of the investigation has not been done. We don't know what connection they had or why they were connected. Eventually, the truth or more of the story will come out. But we want to give respect to Dakara and her family and put some respect on her name and focus on the situation at hand. Dakara was a 19-year-old young lady who worked at a nonprofit. She was unalived and lived in PG County, Maryland, which is Prince George's County, for those who don't know. And the guy, Hugo Hernandez Mendez, who unalived her, is being held without bail. Now, incidentally, those who are attempting to spin this narrative to make it about the undocumented man who took her life, he was arrested by the Federal Park Service in April for DUI. The Federal Park Service is the federal government. While y'all out here rounding folks up, why you let him go? When you let him go, that's how he was able to take Dakara's life. So while you're trying to spin the story, acknowledge the deficit you had, the mistake you made. Acknowledge the fact that you had him in your custody and you released him. Why did you release him? Did you release him because you suspected that he was violent and he would go out there and do some harm? Did you release him so that he could commit a crime so that you can spin it and use the narrative that he was a terrible and violent individual, which you had to have known when you had him in your possession? But, I digress. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, they were together. This young lady there is no, sir, we can't take the lip smacking here. Yo, the dopest dog is on one. He is very clingy and needy and kind of working my nerves. Okay? A little bit working my nerve, but I love my baby. Why did I say it? Look. Y'all can't see. He if he was tall enough, you'd be able to see. But he right up here. What are you doing? Show them your paw since you want to be up here. Show them your paw. Y'all see that paw? That's how close he is. You better don't knock down the computer, you hear? Don't knock down the computer. Child. You hear that? That's his. Why you stop? He's wagging his tail so hard that it's hitting the side of the desk. Yeah, Keisha said so many of our children are being unalived. It is the truth. And it is horrendous. Why? Why? Keisha says, show that baby. He wants, listen, the family may very well have a actionable claim against the police department or the Park Service, the Federal Park Service. Look, when he could, you're scratching me. When he couldn't be seen on that side, he came on this side, he came to this side. Y'all want to see him? Come here. They want to see you. Come. But I don't want you to get no ideas. You're not coming to stay, okay? I go and lift you up and show. Come on. What you backing away? Why do you have a piece of tab on you? Come, Kobayashi. Say hi, everybody. Okay, bye. Scram. No. Scram. Somebody want to be a star. Why are you up here? Get down. Oh, okay, you want mommy to stroke your head. All right, Kobayashi. Such a brat. But either way, back to the... Okay, stop. You knocking stuff off my desk and all kind of stuff. Yeah, the parents may have an actionable claim against the Federal Park Service because what is their justification for arresting him in April for a violation of the law, finding out he was undocumented because they knew this, and then releasing him back into the public if they were actively already pursuing people and arresting people for being undocumented? What was their justification? They cannot justify this one. Okay, listen, don't knock down my computer, And what else were we talking about? We're talking about the blood moon. You guys know about the blood moon. I told you already. There is sir, I'm working here. What are you doing? And I told you about the blood moon. I'd like to play a little. I knew. Okay, I need you to stop. Sit, and stay. Lay down. Why are you screw facing me? Lay down. Why are you up here? What I said? Sit. There you go. Stay there. Stay. I say sit down. Excuse me for that, guys. Shout out to the Dopest. Smash the subscribe button. Make sure that your notifications are set to all so you don't miss a live. He threw me off. She said, talk about, let's see. Thank you. Listen, what would I do without K-Leg? Let me play this little something just to get our energy centered back. Let me share the screen again. I want to play something there. This woman, in honor of the blood moon, she is playing some Tibetan singing bowls. If you're not familiar with Tibetan singing bowls, I want you to let me plays Tibetan singing bowls for you guys. Let's take a little time to do this. I want to say, if you haven't had one, please go. All right. You guys couldn't hear me? My bad. I didn't realize that. See, shout out to Caitlin. Always handling stuff. I didn't realize you guys couldn't hear me. But what I was saying was, if you ever feel stressed in your life, I didn't realize you couldn't hear me. What I was saying was, if you ever feel stressed in your life, go on YouTube and look up. Those were Tibetan singing bowls. So look up singing bowls, or you can look up binaural beats, and K-Leg will drop all of that in the chat for you. Or you can look up high frequency music. And really, you can go to sleep to that. If you keep your TV on at night, or if you have your phone, which I would tell you, do it on your TV. Most people have YouTube on their TV, but not with your phone, because your phone, although they both give off radiation, your phone gives off far more radiation. And what happens is it irradiates your body if you keep your phone by your head at night. You should not be sleeping in your bed with your phone. You should not be having your phone on your nightstand right by your head. You are irradiating your brain. Keep your phone across the room. Give your body a rest. Let yourself go to sleep. You can leave it on and put it somewhere at least 6 feet away from your body for your own health. But go look up high frequency music, binaural beats, or Tibetan singing bowls. The headmaster will put them in the chat. I didn't even know y'all couldn't hear me. if you're able to experience a live singing bowl session. Yeah, I've played singing bowls. We have a singing bowl here. Let me tell you something. Dana said if you're able to experience a live singing bowl session, you will not believe the effect it has on your body. Truth. And she said, get ready to have the deepest sleep in your life. And I'm going to tell you something. I've had a singing bowl here I first became introduced to singing bowls probably about 10 or 11 years ago. And so I got one probably about 9 or 10 years ago. And we've been playing it ever since. And I'm going to tell you something. When I first got the singing bowl, I would hit it and then it would bring a little resonance. But let me tell you who mastered it and could make it have so much resonance. The Dopest show, the Trusty Dusty show producer. Baby, Nirvana could make that singing bowl sing like a child. And she would just, and it resonates through your whole house and just takes over. And I'm telling you, you're guaranteed to feel better. You are guaranteed to feel better. Michael said, I come sit in Natanya's channel. This is my resonance frequency. It feels vibration in my muscles and it is good. Thank you, brother. See, this is why I love y'all so much. Thank you so much, Michael. Luna says it heals trauma and addiction. Asheo. Keisha said it's very comforting, felt the effects. Nirvana did it. Listen, let me tell you something. She could hit that bowl. Ding. It has a mallet that it comes with. It's usually rubberized on the end. And she could and make that resonance. She just, the girl is gifted. She gifted. And I'm grateful for her because I used to hit that bowl and it'd be like, and stop. And Nirvana could just make it sing. So Michael said, seriously, I felt like my body is making a tiny buzz feeling in me, like a massage. Well, listen, to God be the glory. I thank the Most High for using me as his vessel to be able to bring forth this type of healing and resonance and vibration and frequency to all of you. I love you so much. Let's talk about Trump and Tory Branham. Let's talk about this cluster. Tory Branham. Some of you have seen her. You've heard the news. You may not know her name. Hold on. Where you at? Excuse me, sir. Let me close my window. Because the folks be looking. Tory Branham. Those of you who know that name by now. Now, it ain't nothing to write home about, but if you know her name, you know her name. She is the woman who felt so proud that she decided, I want to be famous. I'm going to do something to make myself known so everybody can know my name because I want to be famous. And it wasn't good enough for her to just do it. She then had to go online and make sure you knew she did it. She is the woman who's running for a congressional seat in District 12 near Savannah, Georgia, who called ICE on the Hyundai plant and got 475 Hyundai factory employees arrested and taken into custody by ICE. Over 300 of which were Korean nationals who came to America to build the Hyundai plant, through an agreement and a mutual business structuring with Hyundai and LG, the makers of the cell phones, and the United States government. Trump, the president of Korea, was here. President, Prime Minister, I forget which one. Charge it to my head, not my heart. But was here, and they begged. He was here up to a couple of weeks ago. But this is from Trump begging Korea and other countries for strategic relationships. And so they come into a deal and they build a Hyundai plant in Savannah, Georgia, near Savannah, Georgia. Because of the Look and A garden tools that always trying to say, oh, they're giving the jobs. Now, mind you, this woman thought that these were Latinos. I guarantee it, because you know the type of people. They think if your eyes are slanted, you Chinese. If they hear you speak a little hola, they say you Mexican. If they hear you say Wagwan, they say you're African or you're Jamaican. They don't understand ethnicity. They don't understand geography. They don't understand anything but make America supposed to be great again. MAGA, 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 Trump, Trump, Trump. Well, this dum-dum got on the internet and bragged. You heard about the ICE raid on the Hyundai plant? Now, you guys know how I feel about pronunciation and appropriate grammar, words, mispronouncing words. You know how I feel about it. It is like nails on a chalkboard for me. You know how I feel about it. She's all, I call for the raid on the Hyundai plant. Feeling like righteous indignation and, the worst case of grandiosity, delusions of grandeur you've ever seen in your wildest dreams, the likes of which the world has never seen before. She had to double down. It wasn't good enough for her to just call the authorities. She then wanted you to know she did it because she thought she was gaining brownie points about those people are being underpaid, slave wages. They are having to pay their handler. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Those are skilled laborers on H-1B visas called the Genius Visa, the Smart Visa, for skilled people to come over to this country. They are over here for the sole purposes of building the Hyundai plant and constructing the machines and making them work and training the American employees that were going to be hired how to use the machines, because the instructions and all of the stuff is in Korean. Hold on one second, guys. Give me 1 minute. You heard that? Hendrix was calling for you. Listen, you crying because you hear Hendrix's name? Listen, I took my dog and went to Tennessee to hang out with my sister and my nephew and my family. And my nephew played with my dog so much. When I tell you, when they say a boy needs a dog needs a boy. They fell in love with each other so much. And they've been together before, but they fell in love with each other in a way that you have never seen before. My nephew was calling, my 5-year-old nephew was calling to talk to the dog. And you should have heard Kobe when he knew my sister was on the phone and he heard my nephew's name. He was like, your boy? He hype right now. I told him I'd call him back and let them talk. I'm going to send him a picture of Kobe. Come here, Kobe. Smile for the camera. This is going straight to Auntie. Let me take a picture. Oh, look at this picture. Watch your paws. That's so cute. That is so absolutely cool. What was I saying? Oh, thank you, Michael. But yeah, that's the genius visa. That's what Melania got because she's a genius too. Jokes. Anywho, now these people were sent here by the Korean government to build the factory, the outcome of which would given 9,000 jobs to the district and surrounding areas in Savannah, Georgia, or the surrounding areas, people who were willing to drive who knows how long to get a skilled labor job. The Americans are not equipped to build this Hyundai factory plant. And I've seen it. It is massive. When I tell you this plant is massive, these people were in an agreement between the United States government and the Korean government, issued visas to come and build the plant so that they could then train the Americans and to do the jobs. She called, acting like she was concerned with the quality of life and care, talking about they're living 5 families deep. They are piled up in homes and they go to Walmart to get the. You don't know none of these folks. You don't know none of them. But she's such a liar. They are so adept at lying. They are so willing to lie. Be mindful and careful of somebody who will lie at the drop of a hat because it's a Tuesday. Somebody who will lie at the drop of a hat because they have on a yellow shirt. Like, just lying. Just lying. Martha Cardiel said, per Google, 01A visa for extraordinary ability in science, or the H-1B visa for specialty occupations. Absolutely. Majority of them were here on specialty occupations. And not for nothing, let's call it a genius visa, because guess what? The Americans can't do it. They ain't equipped. Let's call it what a TI is. They ain't skilled enough to do it. They had to import or export Koreans to build the plant because all of the technology is Korean technology. All of the instructions are in Korean. All of the mechanics and everything is in Korean. They're building it and then they're going to train the Americans. But now the Koreans sent a jet to come and pick up their nationals, and they are ordering all of their nationals out of the country. And they had documentation. Now, were they 2 and 3 and maybe 20 or whatever people in the building that their papers might have expired or whatever based on how long they were here and nobody was paying attention? Okay, but dummy, all they mush down the thing, all they beg for. All they beg for this and then all they mush it down. And now she getting back like, oh my God, I'm getting death threats. Oh my Lord, why are you people acting like this to me? I haven't done anything. America first and all this crap. Listen, buddy, don't lick my arm. You know, I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. Get down. You know, I don't play them games. Sit. You know, I don't play those games. I don't play the tongue on skin game. No. Anywho, they build it because they're manufacturing other car brand parts like Samsung and making everyone else have the chipboards. Absolutely. And because these are for EV, electric vehicles and all type of stuff, it's a battery substation so that they are not subject to the Trump tariffs. And now Susie Karen Fastbutt done. Listen, hold on a second, and hold on. Watch your pause. For all y'all, for the looking a garden tools, be like, she's on her land screaming at her dog. I'm not a beater. I don't beat anyone. Anybody that knows me knows I don't believe in corporal punishment, but I will yell because I believe in using this voice. I believe in crying aloud and sparing not, like the Bible calls for us to do. Kaylee said, we see you peeking through the bushes. Don't be scared. So let me play this lovely ensemble about this chick. Come, baby, let me listen. There was this man. Oh, hey, Archangel Michael said, you go from Alabama style to Caribbean flavor so flawlessly. I could do voiceovers and cartoons. You know, I wouldn't mind if I do. And K-Lig said, time for the tithes and offerings. Send your super chats, super stickers, Cash App, Venmo. All you know what time it is. It's time for the tithes and offerings. All you come now. Who is the first? Let's see who's going to run up with the first fruits. Drop your first fruits in that basket. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. And make sure you send love to the headmaster herself, K-Lig, at $KAYLIGG. Let's send our girl some love. She will put your methods in the chat, whether it be Cash App, Venmo. Put the links in the chat for all our international folks who don't have Cash App or super chats, super stickers, whatever you want. Tides and offering time order. Come with it. No, come with it. Martha said, love your Caribbean accent. Thank you so much, my love. Show your love and support. Super chat, super chat, super chat, super sticker, whatever y'all want. Thank you, guys. Let me show y'all this in the meanwhile, because this chick here, well, I say she takes the cake now. She takes the whole cake. Oh, this guy read her for filth. Let me see which one is a little shorter. I'll put this one on. This guy, when I tell you, this guy read this woman for filth, honey.
Running for Congress that wants to be the white victim. She's the typical white fake Christian that needs to plush her curls and please her husband and be submissive to her husband and be a good little white Christian. What she is a modern day Pharisee. She's a religious hypocrite that has found a way to tap into the concepts of brains MAGA supporters that need to be the victim of everything. They're going to blame immigrants, brown people, black people, anybody that's quote unquote not native. Karen, for the record, I'm not native. You're not native. And if you don't like it, you can ship your ass back to Europe where you belong. Okay? So you can stop right there with the victim blaming bullshit. It works for a very small percentage of this country. So let's call you out for what you are. Now let's listen to her comments about the Hyundai plant, shall we?
I've heard so far since the Hyundai plant in Elabella, Georgia was raided was that the Koreans and the illegals will do jobs that Americans can't do or won't do. Well, that's bullshit, because there were union workers out there who weld, who are safety certified, who are skilled, who those people for decades have built this country.
There's no love like Christian hate, is there? So, Karen, let me give you a history lesson because you think that white people built this country. White people invented racism. Well, we perfected it, right? We were too damn lazy. Probably your great-great-grandfather owned black people. He's like, you know what? I'm too lazy to pick my cotton. Why don't we steal black people from Africa and do it for us? And then we designed this country to benefit one group, 21-year-old land-owning white men. So let me read you who actually built this country. These are the technologies and the inventions that black people built. The traffic signal, automatic elevator doors, home security, more home security, microphones, personal computing, mailbox, pencil sharpeners, hairbrushes, ice cream scoop, Murphy bed, computer monitor, potato chips, rice cultivating, laser cataract surgery, open heart surgery, blood pressure monitors. Wow, it sure seems like they did a lot. Oh, but you know why you don't hear that? Because you've whitewashed history. Because a lot of white people stole the inventions that black people built. Because people like you don't want to do that, because you think that somehow it takes away from your white supremacy greatness, that this is the best of the best of the best. We're number one. We got guns and freedom everywhere, right? Now, what else did they actually build? The U.S. Capitol, the White House. White House. Well, that's ironic, isn't it? Huh. The Wall Street in New York, Trinity Church in New York, University of North Carolina, Montpelier, Mount Vernon, Georgetown, and on and on and on. Does that offend you? You know who built the Statue of Liberty? Immigrants. They brought the marble from up north. See, what you are the symptom of is American exceptionalism. We have told white people like yourself to worship the flag, to pray to a flag, to praise it, right? We're raised in American flag diapers and we eat freedom Wheaties, right? And then we, yes, sir, the Pledge of Allegiance and pray to it. It's like a goddamn religion. We go to work and we feed our pet bald eagle because that's the symbol of greatness. And then we get in our car with the Constitution and then we listen to God Bless America in the car and we got guns because we're American now. We don't give a shit about the kids that are murdered from them because there's just nothing we can do. But let's go blame the immigrants and say that we made this country great, or it's not. It wasn't built by us. But what we did is that we shit on people that don't look like me and took credit for everything, so we're the best. You should go do a little bit of research. Now, I'm not sure what your education is, but I'm assuming that based off of 8 years of high school, you're probably twice as smart as everybody else. So I'm assuming you can read. You should go read about the Trail of Tears, you know, the westward expansion, where we expanded this country and made it great. When we kicked 100,000 people off against the will of the court, and 16,000 of them died. Dysentery, starvation, horrible diseases, because, you know, we're the best of the best, Karen. But you go ahead and tell yourself that it was a great westward expansion for the white man. Now, in addition to this Karen here wants to cherry pick certain cases that feed into her white victimhood.
That's a real travesty. That speaks volumes about how much we protect our children, or lack thereof, in this country.
Now, I did some research. What that lady did was horrible. Yeah, she should be held accountable. But I find it rich that in watching your videos, you seem to pick the black people that commit the crimes. I find that fascinating. Would you like me to play a video of January 6th where all these white U.S. citizens attacked officers? Because I can play it for about an hour, but you don't want to hear that, right? Because you need to be the white victim. You also made a video about the lieutenant governor back east in Georgia, or it was North Carolina, that got hurt. It's horrible. But see, you know what you did in that video? You said something that you didn't even catch yourself. Oh, look at this black woman that got injured. Why would you say that? When a white person gets shot, do you say, oh, well, this white person got shot? Or you say, oh, that man got shot, that woman got shot? See, you're a racist and you don't even know it. You purposely point out anybody that's not white because in your mind, you view white as the default. And you don't even know it. You know why? Because you have your head up your ass with white Christian nationalism, because you believe this is the greatest country in God's earth. We're not even the greatest country in North America. Now, it's interesting, at the end of that video, you said something interesting that we should believe the victims, right? That kids should be protected. So let's see what you have to see about Epstein.
The speeches seemed a little flamboyant. Trump was brought up, but there's all these people that didn't get brought up. One of them is an actress who claims that she was a victim of Epstein, but there's no court documentation, no public documentation, no flight logs, no photos, nothing connecting her to Epstein. Now, I wouldn't anticipate that most people would lie about sexual assault, but I just want to say now, that rally was funded by, it's called the Tides Center, and it is an NGO that was heavily funded by George Soros.
Wow. You truly are a piece of shit. You know, I'm really sorry that you were a victim, but you know what? I believe you. I don't need videos and testimonies and evidence and court hearings to believe it. It's fascinating how many white women in this country need to be the victim and don't believe other women. It's truly disgusting. You know what's fascinating, Karen? Is that you talk about law and order, but you voted for a man who's an adjudicated rapist. Testimonies of 25 other women who he kissed, grabbed their breasts, grabbed their backsides, and you didn't give a shit. You saw January 6th. You saw the officers get beaten. You didn't give a shit. You knew that he hid top secret documents for a year, but you didn't give a shit. You knew that he literally stole from cancer charities. Who the fuck steals from cancer charities? How much of a piece of shit do you have to be? But you're like, hey, I don't care. See, you're the problem with this country. You saw a black man sitting in the White House instead of picking your cotton and you lost your shit. Oh, traditional family values, white family values. What are we going to do? My way of life is going away. This is our country, Mike. No, it's not your country. It was the Native Americans' country. They should deport us. And you went back to the plantation owner. We had a little bump in the road with Joe Biden, and then the black woman came along. Ooh, scary. Oh, there's no way. Oh, not a chance in hell. Oh, no, she's not qualified. She's not a rapist. She's not a felon. She's not an insurrectionist. She didn't steal top secret documents. She didn't tell 34,000 lies. Oh, I'm going to vote for the guy that's a piece of shit.
Now, I will stop here and correct him on Native Americans are quote unquote so-called black people. And I just need people to understand that. But I cannot blame those who don't know, because mainstream society has done a number on the narrative, pushing forth the narrative that they are something different than us. They are not. Some black people are native to this landmass. Others are native to Africa. But don't forget, this was Pangea. And so what is required, quote unquote, to travel between land masses and continents was not required in the past. All land masses were one flat plane because we live on flat earth. It was one flat plane. And so once all of the volcanic eruptions, this, that, and the third happened, and the land masses separated due to fault lines and tectonic plates, then we ended up with all these different landmass, i.e. continents.
Because he was sent from Jesus, the guy that literally has sex with a porn star while his wife is at home with her 2-week-old son. That's the guy that got sent to you. Wow, you have a really fucked up faith. You may want to go seek some counseling. I mean that. Because you are right about one thing. Mental health is an issue. You should seek help. The fact that you don't believe the survivors is morally repugnant. That you want to blame George Soros and, oh, they're an actress and they're big enough. What if somebody said that to you? It's fake news. You're the reason that victims don't come forward. You are. Because people like you push your right-wing propaganda because you want to fearmonger to your concepts of brains, white supremacist base, to be the victim. It's funny that the only demographic in this entire country that hasn't been shit on is white people, but somehow you people in the MAGA movement, Make America White Again, always find a way to put yourself at the center of attention and be the victim. And I'm sure next week, you know what you're going to say? You're going to cherry pick something and go, oh, I'm the victim. What?
Listen, he wasn't here for none of her stuff. He was not here for any of her stuff. Her name is Tori Branham. And if you get a chance and go on the socials, make sure you comment about her and this dastardly deed she did. Yes, honey, I went all the way back to Pangea. Hey, Dishing with the D, how's the family, boo? You know your girl. Nerd Squad, Nerd Herd. Shout out to the Nerd Herd. Make sure y'all go get your Nerd Herd shirts. We have merch. Go and get your Nerd Herd or Dopest Nerd merch and show. We're getting ready to introduce the Nerdy. He is a stress relieving carrot. I want you to take your carrot everywhere you go. If you're at work, hashtag the Nerd Herd, hashtag the Dopest Nerd, hashtag Nerdy, and post it all over the place, all over your socials. Yeah. Oh, good, Dishing with the D. I'm glad everybody's good. You know, this whole self-righteous, self-aggrandizing, I'm going to wreak havoc on the world and then cry like a Karen and make myself the victim is disgusting. It's repugnant. You literally have stopped your community. So while that may be 9,000 jobs, that is also going to do all of those people who could work a job has family. So you have disrupted the economy of your district, the economy of the state of Georgia, the economy of all of these families. If 9,000 people got those jobs, it will affect at least 100,000 people because most people have multiple people in their family, children, all that stuff. And then the community at large, those 50,000 people will shop at stores, which will help the economies of those businesses and those families. Like it was the gift that keeps on giving. But never forget a racist and her self-righteousness. Disgusting. And these are the I'm a Christian fundamentalist and all, it's atrocious. It's just so nasty. K-Leg put it in the chat. I think it's Tori Branham. It says Barnum here, but whether it's Barnum, Branham, it's Branham, I believe. But there's the news story, the ice factory, the Hyundai factory ice arrest, which was just a disgusting thing to see because they feel stupid. Trust me, they feel stupid. But one thing I know about the ICE people and the Trump MAGA heads, baby, they're righteously indignant. They will never apologize. They will never claim and take ownership for the wrong that they do in society. They will find a way to spin the narrative. Find the way. Oh, Right Sound said locked for 20 years. That's right, my love. Oh, beautiful. Such a spiritual journey. Is my sis in here? Somebody said, hey, Jag. Jag in here? Well, how did I miss that? Where you at, Jag? Oh, what up for show? How you doing? Where's Jag? Is Jag in here? Make yourself known, sis, if you're in here. It was a great disservice to those who needed the work. She definitely needs to be sat down. Tell them, Keisha. She needs to be sat down. If they elect her to anything, the joke is on them. They deserve every loss that they get. Shout out to Joy to the World. What up, my love? Hey, Natanya, chat. Yeah, you late. It's all good. No lateness today, baby. We look, Kairos time. Hashtag Kairos time. K-Lig said, federal authorities detained 470. Oh, yeah. This is the link for the story, guys. Look it up. Look it up. It's amazing. It's amazing. I didn't see Jag either. Somebody said, hey, Jag. Tell my sis we in here. What the deal for show? Long time. Oh, it's all good. It's all good, LA Chic. It's all good. Now, I have one story that I do want to talk about. I was going to talk about Ghislane, but y'all know what the deal is. They protecting pedos. They protecting, schmexual violators. They don't have no respect for human life, and they don't like women. Let's be honest. I've told you guys before, there are a lot of men who enjoy how women benefit their lives. They like to get that shot of hip regularly. They got somebody to clean, cook, do all the creature comforts, and prevent them from being alone, keeping them company. But guess what? They will lay beside you in the bed and hate every fiber of your being. Now, they love that sloppy top. Oh, they love that, honey. But baby, they don't like you. And this is the really real. And I'm not saying all men. There are some amazing, redeeming men in the world. Amazing brothers. Amazing. But baby, there is a large cross-section of society. And don't ever let anyone make you feel like that is directly gaslighting you. Don't let them make you feel like they're not gaslighting you. They are gaslighting you. Men, I'm not saying as an entire whole, because I could never speak for such a large cross-section of society. But for a significant amount of men in this world, they don't like women. If your man even subscribes or ascribes to the mentality of the quote-unquote passport bros who don't give a crap about women, they tell you the narrative of, oh, I like women from other countries. No, they're colorists and they hate their own skin. They hate the skin they're in. They're colorless. They want quote unquote white adjacency. And so they're looking for white complected skin through other people. And they're willing to go across the world and to other nation states to be able to access women that fit that narrative, what we call a preference. And here's the narrative. They want to go look for a preference because they hate their mamas. They hate their sisters, their grannies, their aunts. They hate their women. They hate their women. They don't love women while they're going to, Colombia and all these other places. No, they hate women. They want the perks of what women give them. They don't like Americanized women who are resolute in their autonomy and their right to say no and their authority. They don't like women who are going to speak back, clap back, defend their right to. They don't like women who are earning their own dollar and thus have their own voice and their power. They want you submissive to them. They want to bring their $59.99, that's $7 million in your country, and make you go and get yourself a little shirt or something over there, girl. And then you sloppy topping it up too. And looking back at it for what equates to $4 for them. They don't love you. You don't hear a story about these guys marrying the women. No, they just want to be able to go international with their boys, have a vacation, and ridicule you for $59.99. Let's call it what a TI is. Make no mistake. And then women, don't you be no fools, black sisters and white sisters but black sisters here stateside. When those guys go and become passport bros and look for their preferences, chicks who don't look nothing like you or their mama, their sister or their cousin too, and they want to choose others, but they go and they slur them out, and then they come back to you. Listen, those women are burning. Listen, first of all, you are relegating women to only looking for $1. When you go to those other countries, you are relegating women to second-class citizens who want you because you have $1 to give them, to alleviate some degree of sufferation. You also have women who is on their grind, hustling, getting it how they live it, okay, that are attached to guys who see passport bros as a threat to the stability of their country and their access to women, and will set those women to peel your wig back to give them your $59.99 and your chin. I have pretty close them. So while you think you going over there to slur these women out, they getting it how they live it, baby. You victim number, industry rule number 4080. International chicks be shady too. Okay? While you sitting there judging black sisters stateside, you're going to go over there and get your wig peeled back. But you get your wig peeled back, and then guess what happened? Guess what happened? Then after they get burnt, get 3-letter Samsonite luggage that they keep forever, that H, that I, that V, they come back over here. Now they realize the grass ain't green on the other side. Now they in love with their baby mama. and then they're going to come back and burn you. Because listen, when they didn't like you from the get-go and they decided to become a passport bro and start going overseas to get buns, they still hate you when they come back. Now they just mad that the chicks overseas played them, ran them in a circle. As my husband used to say, you know, run things, you run around things. When them run your run in that circle, you come back now, you want to be with your baby mama for convenience. They didn't love you when they left, boo. They don't love you when they come back. And now they will purposely infect you because you got a promotion on your job and you don't really need them. You just want to give your kids a chance so that they are not statistics, young black girl, no daddy. So you take that ninja back and now you're sick. There's nurses on, use the Google, use YouTube, look it up. The passport bros are coming back burnt. They are coming back infected like a mug and they are spreading it. Listen, there's a lot of states that are a hotbed. Y'all better learn how to be lonely. Learn how to be okay with yourself. You know why people can't stand to be lonely? Because they don't like their self. They don't like their self. And so when you have to have someone in your bed, you need to self-investigate your head. Because you know what you do? You're giving yourself over to a reprobate heart. You are exposing yourself needlessly to all types of illnesses, and not just illnesses. You might go be a passport bro, go overseas, slur a bunch of chicks out, come back and not get caught out there. But guess what you got? A million soul ties that will drag you to the depths of hell, boo-boo. Don't come let these scallywags lay in your bed and attach all them souls onto you, because you cannot check them off. And you don't know what they bring into you. I mean it literally and figuratively and spiritually. You know why you find your soulmate, but y'all got so much chaos and cantankerousness that you cannot get along? Because most of them have soul ties. They got so many souls and bodies on them, they couldn't even attach to their soulmate. You ever find that person, you just think he is the cat's meow. He thinks she's the cat's meow. Y'all love each other. Y'all just want to be with each other. But every time you two together, it's like a combustible, spontaneous combustion. Pow! Always chaos. Always an argument. Why you said it like that? Who you talking to? Why you looking over there? Why you fanning? Why you got that on? It's always some kind of chaos. Y'all can't connect, but you are drawn to each other. You can't let each other go, but you can't connect. You know why? Because you need to purge yourself of all of those soul ties. You have so many soul ties. There's so much. You are literally laying in the bed with hundreds of people, but you're with one guy. Oh. Somebody dropped some bomb explosions in the chat for that one. That was bars. While you're literally laying in the bed with one person, you are laying with millions, hundreds. You're laying with everybody they ever slept with, laid with. That's too much truth for some of y'all. I realize that's too much truth for some of y'all. But y'all better get this truth and get right with yourself. Get on your face. You know what I always say. Get on your face and call on the Most High. Repent for your sins. For any sin committed is a sin against God. That's why I always tell people, those of you who want to call yourself coming to fight me, you know, the ones that's like, oh, I don't trust her. I don't trust nobody who talk about God that much. Boo-boo. If you know what I know, you'll get some of this on you. Because, baby, let me tell you something. I'm going to reiterate what I say here all the time. If you know people, you know what it is. Life be life, and you go through. You got highs, lows, ups, down, and mid-levels. Baby, those people out there who never ain't going through nothing, and they life look like a whole cakewalk, and it's just peaches and cream, and you jealous because you're like, their life looks so good. Oh, my God, look at their Instagram. They're always traveling. They're always going somewhere. They're always doing this. They're always doing this, that, and that. Why can't my life be like that? Stop being envious. Stop being jealous, because you see what you're calling down on yourself? That person who never seemed like they're going through nothing negative and everything is always peaches and cream, baby, they playing for the wrong side. The devil already got them. He don't got to mess with them. They already his. They volunteered themselves over to him. He don't got to struggle and ding with them. You better make sure. Listen, what did the scripture say? No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I think it's Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Thus saith the Lord. I tell you what that means. Weapons will be formed against you. But if you walk according to the will and the way of the Most High God and his son, Yeshua, the Christ of Nazareth, with that blood, they shall not prosper over you. Weapons will be formed, but they shall not prosper. But y'all keep on being out there watching the good IG. Ooh, her life looks so perfect. That's what I want. Don't call down nobody's life onto yourself. You better cry, ask God what you want from him. You better submit yourself unto the Lord and say, Father God, I surrender to you. Thy will be done in my life. You better act like you know. You better heed not before you get a speed knot. Because some of them speed knot is like Samsonite luggage, baby. You keeping that forever. It not go nowhere. Ask your grandmama. You know when you go to your grandmama's house and you look in the attic or in the shed, they got that old luggage. It's Samsonite. I guarantee it. That thing 50 years old, but guess what? It's still here. Just like that package you about to get. If you keep being stupid, protect yourself. Okay? This with the D said at K-Lig Passport Bros, LOL. Yes, listen. Wow. K-Lig put the official Passport Bros site. I didn't know they had an official site. How will you are telling me, say? How will you tell me, say? Martha Cardile said, no weapon that is formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. You see your girl know the word. What did I say? 54:17? I'm pretty sure I said that. Because I know the word. You know how, let me tell you how I make things stick. My brain is, you know, y'all, I don't have to tell y'all how unique my brain is. My husband's number was 5'4". In the capacity with which he used to work in, his number was 54. And then 17 was connected to something in my life. And that's how I always remember that, Isaiah 54:17. 54 for my husband, and 17, I can't remember what the 17 part was. You know how this, you know how the menopause brain fog does go, but anyhow. And that's how I make things stick. And then once you know it, you know it. Y'all better put on the full armor of God. We are in times, unforeseen times in the annals of history, in the history of your oldest ancestor that's still alive, well, not ancestor, but your oldest living relative that's alive in this segment of history. We are in unforeseen times, baby. You better have on the full armor of God. You better be wearing that breastplate of righteousness, the helmet of salvation, have your sword of truth, and all of the requisite pieces to that armor. Act like you know. I want to show you something I saved, because we on here for a while. You know me, I stay on here with y'all for 5 hours, but you know, K-Lig be snapping that whip, putting me into place. But listen, I want to play this for y'all. Now, I wanted to talk about Dr. Umar. We're going to have to circle back. But what I do know is, K-Lig and I were talking about this today. Dr. Umar, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Institute, they're attempting to sell the building out from under him. And all of the people that, regardless of what you feel about Dr. Umar, regardless of what you feel, I don't agree with everything he says, but I find him to be quite, and I've met Umar before. Now, I wouldn't say I know him, but I've met him before. Oh, Keisha said, sorry, I was thinking about touching out my anointed and do my prophet no harm. Asheo. Listen, they all relevant. They all relevant here. But regardless of what you feel about Dr. Umar, his intent was pure. His intent was, I want to create a school for Black young men to be able to receive a special kind of learning, a special kind of, covering, a special kind of rearing and education that is not traditional. Now, this need for, and his understanding of the need came from the fact that he is a school psychologist. And if you know the early days, I just pulled a massive gray hair out of my head. Lord God. Anyway, if you know the annals of where Dr. Umar emerged from, he is a clinical psychology, school certified, board certified clinical psychology, clinical psychologist, and he works in the school system with special needs boys and people who have been diagnosed, where the school tries to diagnose them as special needs because, and he was one of the first people that brought out in mainstream society that for every student that is diagnosed as special need, whether ADHD, ADD, this man knows the DSM-5 with the Diagnostic Service Manual, 5th edition, where they clinically diagnose your child with some sort of disorder, mental disorder. That's the classification. I hate to call it a Bible, but that's the classification book, Diagnostic Service Manual, the DSM-5. That is what they use to diagnose all clinical diagnosis for mental disorders and such as in that book. He has watched them diagnose young Black boys and girls too, but young Black boys in the school system with all kinds of stuff. Because guess what? The school system gets more money per capita for each child that has a diagnosis. If your child is a mainstream young Black boy or Latino or whatever boy in school, they get 5,000 change. Don't quote me on the exact dollar. K-Leg will let you know if I'm right or wrong. They get 5,000 or so. That was the prevailing amount when he first started talking about it. However, and the money could have gone up, especially post-COVID and all that stuff. If your child is diagnosed, they get $17,000, almost $18,000 per special needs child. So what, don't they have an incentive to keep diagnosing people's children? Once they put that stigma on you, it follows you for the rest of your life and impacts your ability to do a whole lot of things. And so he was saying a lot of the children that he found to have been diagnosed or they attempted to diagnose, and parents of all kinds, Black, white, Asian, this, that, Latino, everybody come to him, help me. They're trying to clinically diagnose my son. Now, what he noticed was this propensity for young Black boys to get diagnosed by white teachers who are not from their culture, don't live amongst their culture, and will take little things and call it another thing. Use the Google, aka Google, or YouTube, look it up. I saw a sister talking, she was saying why Black people need to have Black therapists. She's Caribbean. When it comes around to carnival time, she say, I just go out on the road and lime with my friends and them, and we just have a little round robin, and we just drink and talk and parlay because it's carnival time. That is cultural. That is what we do when it's near carnival. You're getting a little lime with your friends. A lime is a little hangout session, a kickback. You chill, you have a kickback, you hang out with your people, you talk about, all things cultural and Caribbean and things like that. And who is in the mass camp? We have things called mass camp. The band that's going down the street with all of the different people on, beating the steel drum or whatever, steel pan, whatever you want to call it. And the people are in costumes and it's a requisite mass camp band. People are connected to certain mass camps. Yes. And so there is the mass camp will have a fête, which is another word for party. Fête is a French word. They will have festivities throughout the year when they decide the costume, when people are buying into, they join into play mass. Playing mass is the art of dancing in a particular ascribed costume for a particular mass camp. There are cultural things that we do that are not relative to white people. You know what the Black lady said? When she was talking about whatever trauma she endured, and the lady was like, well, what did you do this weekend? What was going on this weekend? And she told the lady, well, me and my friends, we went and we were liming and all this stuff. You know what the lady wrote? When the lady stepped out of the room and she saw her chart, the lady wrote that she has clinical alcoholism syndrome and needs some kind of special designation to try to mess her up. This is a woman outside your culture. What are you doing there? What are you doing there? She have no connection to your culture. Well, if they could do that to a grown adult woman, what do you think they're doing to children that sit in the classroom and talk about things that are cultural to Black people? That may not be known to people of other cultures, but what do you think they're doing to? You need people who are culturally relevant to your circumstance, your surroundings, your life, your understanding of life, how you passed. You need someone culturally relevant to be your therapist. or else they will misdiagnose you, jack you up in the system. And trust me, once that stuff is put into the medical, I told you I'm a life insurance agent. There is something called the MIB, the Medical Information Bureau. Everything you ever said since you was a little kid or went to the doctor for, I'm talking about that boil in your crotch and all kind of thing. Every time you was burning, all kind of thing. Medical Information Bureau, boom. You see how Experian know that you don't pay your Visa bill on time? The Medical Information Bureau know all your medical tea. You best believe all systems are connected. You go apply for insurance, they know all your business. So when you see those commercials, no questions asked, no blood work. You can just fill out a couple of questions and this and that, and you approved. And then they say, have you ever been diagnosed with blah, blah, blah? And you figure, these people ain't gonna know. No. And then you wonder, how come I didn't get the insurance? Because they know you lied. They went to the Medical Information Bureau, which is a credit bureau for all of medical stuff. And the Medical Information Bureau was like, I ain't want to gossip, but, and you got denied because now they consider you an insurance risk. They say you are a known liar because you lied about insurance. Oh, boo-boo. I beg you tell the truth when they ask you the question because they know. It's like my mother used to come, question. Once my mother said question, boo-boo. It only took me one time to get called, catch out there. When she say question, she know the answer. She know which direction you went. She know what heels you had on and what color jeans. She know all the deets, boo. Waste your time and lie if you want to. What she is doing is administering the rope and giving you yardage by which you will hang yourself. Play if you want to. There's a certain person right here. He like, what my mommy talking about? So I want to teach you. I want to show y'all that I say all of this to say. Special need kids in a school scam. Yes, they listen. They diagnose your kids, and hear what they diagnosing. You might know. You might have certain things that are relative to your culture. Karen, Miss, Nebraska corn-fed that don't know nothing about this culture will take what you say. They said a school might receive anywhere from about 15. K-Lig said a school might receive anywhere between 15, and that's 15 in additional to the normal funding that they get per capita per student. $1,500 to $20,000 per year for a student with special needs, depending on the state, the disability, and the services required, according to ChatGPT. That there. Michael said, being an Australian Aboriginal, we are constantly being studied, especially in the medical industry, anthropology, headhunters. Nightingale was a headhunter. Florence Nightingale was a headhunter. I believe it. Because, whoever mainstream society pushes on you, you better believe when you go back in history, that person was a fraud and not what they tell you it was. That person worked against the system. So please know that. But I say this for a specific reason. People that are diagnosing you, people that are giving a narrative about your existence need to have culturally relevant understanding or they will jack your kids up. Umar was trying to help. And here's what I know. I told you I'm a psychology major. Here's what I know. Helpers get into professions where they help because they themselves need help. Yes. We have a desire to help. I always tell you, I'm a Captain Saver garden tool. I'm a Captain Saver hoe. I be wanting to help the whole world. My intentions be pure. I want to help people because I want to see people be their best. I want to see people thrive. And here's the deal. I have the ability to, God watches over me and walks with me. Y'all know that. So something could happen and listen, I already have submitted myself unto the Most High God, darling. Trust and believe. He said, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. Things might come against me, but they will never prosper me. You hear? They will never prosper over me. And it doesn't mean I don't go through, but I just go through. I don't stay. I just go through. I just pass through. You can't stick me nowhere. Although something might come and confront me, I doesn't stay. I just pass through. While y'all be stuck because y'all be trying to fight it yourself. You know, that old Jesus take the wheel. I keep telling you, you ain't got to tell Jesus to take the wheel, boo. He been knew you couldn't drive. He gave you the car. Submit yourself, surrender, be obedient. Therein lies how you get through. Now continue to pursue your success, because faith without works is dead. But you ain't got to do it all. Let God, Father God, thy will be done in my life. Thy will be done in my life. Yes, misdiagnosing, pushing, and tell him, Keish, misdiagnosing you, pushing unnecessary medicines not needed for your child. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you be all the way down bad. Umar tried to create a school to help those boys so they could, you know, black boys are energetic. They want to ramp and they being a boy's boy. But when you have a white woman who is the wife of the cop that's locking their big brothers up, them school teachers in inner city schools be the wives of those men locking them up when they daddies up when they get on the block. Understand the dichotomy. Never sleep. Never sleep. That's what it is. Somebody should look up and see if there is a statistical, somebody did the statistics on how many school teachers are married to cops. You'll be astounded. If you find that out, you will then realize what I'm telling you. This man tried to create a school. Like I said, I don't agree with everything Umar has done. I don't agree with everything Umar said. However, his intentions were pure. People be like, oh, show us what you do. Now, he was able to fundraise to get the funds to be able to create and buy this school. People like, oh, he don't own no school. Well, then how the hell are they trying to snatch it out from underneath him if he don't own a school? You see how things does tell on themselves? You see how people was like, he don't own no school, he's fronting, and now what's in the news now? They're trying to sell the school out from under him for taxes or something like that. But I thought, let's say he didn't own nothing. How they snatching it if I thought let's say the man didn't own no school? Why would they be snatching it for taxes or whatever if he don't own nothing? You see how all they get catching a lie? Y'all was out there spreading that lie. Look how all y'all got called out there. The fact that they're trying to do him dirty and undo what he has endeavored to do, because the school is beautiful. And I know for a fact, I remember, I'm telling you, it had to be about 10 years ago, every time he tried to get his 501c3, they kept undercutting him and denying it, which is what delayed the school. So you don't understand, the government and systems will work against you. They don't want, remember, NSA Memorandum 46 said, yes, your girl is a real nerd. This ain't no fakey faker, Tim. This is the real deal, Holyfield. Act like you know. All this lives in this brain because God imbued me with the level of intellect and intelligence to spit fire and know what I'm talking about. Go look it up, NSA Memorandum 46. Never again shall a black Messiah rise and lead them into the promised land. Umar is the closest thing they get to a black Messiah, and they can't trip him up with the tactic they used on past black Messiahs, because guess what he said? Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. See, that's how they taken down many a black man. They sent a white chick in there to infiltrate, destroy him, and get him out of there. They don't have that opportunity to get at Umar. Ask yourself, why is there an endeavor to go against him so hard? Who is the arbiter and the architect of his disinformation campaign? Use your knowledge of past history. They did the same ish to Malcolm, did the same ish to Martin, did the same ish to Mega. Act like y'all know. Stop falling for the okie doke. Y'all so, it's the same adage I talk about. It is the reality show thing, where they show you a scene, you watching this current episode of the reality show, but they're going to show you next week on the commercial break, and then you're going to see somebody reaching out, snatching a wig, and somebody pulling back. And they say, I snatch your wig, ho. And you like, oh, girl, I can't wait till next week. They got you hooked before you finish this episode. But guess what? When next week comes, there's no wig snatching. There's somebody saying, hey, girl, it's a bug in your hair. And she like, oh, get it out. But y'all sat there and been fooled. Every week they do the same BS to you, and you fall for it every week. Oh, girl, I can't wait till next week. And you come back and watch the same rigmarole over and over again, and it's never what you expected. Every now and then they throw in a little juice. They throw in a little this. And, oh, you're getting baptized on September 27th? Oh, Keisha, throw some praying hands in the chat for our sister Keisha. Congratulations. She said, oh, good news. Baptism on September 27th hasn't been done since I was 5. Ever since I decided to truly follow Christ and walk with him 4 years. Exciting, Natanya. I'm so proud of you, sis. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. Everybody throw some praying hands in the chat for our sis Keish. We're so proud of you, boo-boo. We are so proud. Good night, Dishing with the D. You stay safe too, boo. Kiss the kids. And shout out to hubby. So proud of you, Keisha. To God be the glory for it all. To God be the glory for it all, sis. Hey, you know what it says? Every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. Make sure you know who you right with. If you don't know who you right with, you better get right, especially in this day and age, baby. You know how they used to say back in the days, oh, we at the end of days? We are at the end of days. If you don't know, now you know. We are at the end of days. Y'all better act like y'all know. You better designate who you right with. Because if you don't make a designation, then you playing with the wrong team. So Umar, ask yourself, who is the orchestrator? What I always tell you, my grandmother said, watch the news and the news carrier. He who comes to carry negative news all the time about somebody, what is their agenda? Why do they have such an agenda against Umar? Why do they have such a problem with Umar opening a school for the betterment of Black boys? You say he wants to teach them farming. He wants to teach them skills. He wants to teach them cultural identity, this, that, the other. Why is that a problem? And guess who's the biggest people against him? Black people, because y'all so brainwashed. I cannot stand it. Anybody telling you, oh, Umar has to be the dictionary for everything you believe in society? No. You can peacefully disagree with someone. You can have a difference of opinion with someone and still know that the work they're doing is admirable and righteous. You got ninjas out here buying cars that could pay for somebody's house, buying chain that could pay for somebody's house. Why they don't come and pay the taxes and let Umar have the school free and clear so that pay off the taxes now? Create an endowment that will cover the taxes so he can educate these Black boys. But y'all too busy criticizing. Y'all too busy trying to make them cool. Listen, helpers become helpers because they felt like they needed help in their life and nobody helped them. Get out your own feelings. Get out your stupidity and stop judging people when you want. These are the same people that be like, oh, such and such got money. Why they don't do this? What you doing with your money? How you could count the next person's money? How you could pocket watch? You telling people that have a certain degree of money that you believe what they need to do with their money, but you ain't doing with your own money. You know what the word says? The word says the woman who had 2 shillings and gave her shillings willingly to the church, to God, her shillings is worth more. Y'all might hear the voice go down a little because I have to put the battery in for the charger. And so the microphone is not going to work without the adapter plug. But y'all might believe, I lose my train of thought. Y'all might believe that, oh God, I lose my train of thought. Somebody remind me now. But like I was saying, y'all fall for the okie doke. You're willing to believe negativity about somebody, but it's hard for somebody has to convince you of the truth, but a lie, y'all believe it easy peasy lemon squeezy. That's why I almost walked away from YouTube, because I ain't able. All of these, I know I said this was a dual-edged sword word, but there are really some haters out here in YouTube land. Y'all know. Thank you, Keisha. Or let us fall for a lie so easy. They could tell all anything about somebody who try. Remember, while everybody's singing Martin Luther King, Martin Luther King, Martin Luther King, and they got to do a school, report for Black History Month. Everybody doing Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, and who else again? Everybody, the majority, 90% of all the projects will be on those people. But if I ask you who's Araminta Ross, all you can't tell me. That's Harriet Tubman's real name. Y'all doing the same 10 lines and then expounding on 10 lines. Come on. Dig deeper, guys. Dig deeper. When Martin Luther King was doing his works, you know how much people was against him? My boy got shanked by a Black woman. that was sent in by the opposition, no less. But why would you allow the opposition to tell you to go shank this man who's fighting for your rights? Let's not act like we don't know. People will be trying to do good, and the opposition member, put this in a chat, K-Leg, NSA Memorandum 46. That's National Security. Look it up now. National is the menopause brain. National Security Administration Memorandum 46. Top of the list. NSA Memorandum 46, March 17, 1978. Presidential Review Memorandum NSCM 46 to the Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, Director of Central Intelligence. Subject, Black Africa in the U.S. Black Movement. You see how I just spit facts off of my head? Ask yourself why. Because while people be watching Twerking by the Milk and Booty Shaking 101, I be reading. The president has directed that a comprehensive review be made of current developments in Black Africa from the point of view of their possible impact on the Black movement in the United States. The review should consider, number one, long-term tendencies of social and political developments and the degree to which they are consistent with or contradict the U.S. interests. Number two, proposals for durable contacts between radical African leaders and leftist leaders in the U.S. Black community. Three, appropriate steps to be taken inside and outside the community in order to inhibit any pressure by radical African leaders and organizations on the U.S. Black community for the latter to exert influence on the policy of the administration towards Africa. The president has directed that the NSC Interdepartmental Group for Africa performs this review. The review should be forwarded to the NSC Political Analysis Committee by April 20th. Signed, Brzezinski. And his Zbigniew Brzezinski, Secretary of the Treasury, Secretary of the Commerce, Attorney General, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. National Security Council Interdepartmental Group for Africa, study response to Presidential Security Review Memorandum, NSC. But the objective is our policy towards Black Africa is to prevent social issues which could radically change the political situation throughout the area. The success or failure of our policy in the region depends on the solution, international and internal issues whose importance to the United States is on the increase. Number two, A, U.S. interests in Black Africa. They do not want, I won't find the line for y'all. There is a specific line in here that says, never again shall a Black Messiah raise to make Black people feel like they can overthrow or push for their own independence. And let me read K-Lig's disclaimer because you know she don't play that. The views and opinions expressed by the Dopest Nerd are protected under the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. Get into that. Keisha DeVoe said, Encyclopedia Brown, that's who you are. Ashe. Oh. Y'all know. Y'all know. Yes, Archangel Michael. They don't want to change the balance of power. Oh, I'm sorry. They don't want to change the balance of power. And yes, I will protect my opinion. Asheo, because you know that's how they try to come for you. Outside of that. But there is a significant line. They said the trends in the American Black movement in connection with our African policy, it is highly important to evaluate correctly the present state of Black movement in the United States and basing ourselves on all available information to try to devise a course for its future development, such as an approach is strongly suggested by our perception of the fact that the American Black form a single ethnic group, potentially which is foolishness, potentially capable of causing extreme instability in our strategy towards South Africa. South Africa? This may lead to a critical differences between the United States and Black Africa in particular. It would also encourage the Soviet Union to step up its interference in the region. Finally, it would pose a serious threat to the delicate structure of race relations within the United States. All of above considerations are given rise to concern for future security of the United States. Since the mid-1960s, when legislation on the human rights was passed and Martin Luther King murdered, federal and local measures to improve Black welfare have been taken, as a result of which the United States Black movement had undergone considerable changes. The principal changes are as follows. Social and economic issues have supplanted political aims as the new preoccupation of the movement, and actions formerly planned on a nationwide scale are now being organized locally. Fragmentation and a lack of organizational unity within the movement, that's what they want to do, stop the organization. You see why they were threatened? Because, like I said about we reframing the narrative of our ancestors, they had a level of organization and structure. This generation could take a page out of their book, baby, out of their entire litany of encyclopedias. They had a level of organization, structure, and unity that moved the movement forward. That's how we are where we are today. So we cannot disavow what they put in. We are a different phase of that, but we cannot disavow what they put in, because that's how we got here. It said, the principal changes are as follows. Oh, I said that part already. Sharp social stratification of the Black population and lack of policy options which could reunite them. They didn't want us to be reunited. This is in the NSA Memorandum 46. National Security Administration Memorandum 46. They said, want of a national leader of standing comparable to Martin Luther King. The concern for the range of policy options, the concern for the future security of the United States makes necessary the range of policy options. A range without intent, imply priority they are. To enlarge programs within the framework of the present budget for the improvement of the social and economic welfare of American Blacks in order to ensure continuing development of present trends in the Black movement. They did not want us unified. They didn't want us unified. To elaborate and bring into effect a special program designed to perpetuate division in the Black movement and neutralize the most active groups of leftist radical organizations representing different social strata of the Black community, to encourage division in Black circles. This is a United States government, National Security Administration Memorandum 46. To create division in Black strata. To preserve the present climate which inhibits the emergence from within the Black leadership of a person capable of exerting nationwide appeal. That is Dr. Umar. They are terrified of a Black man who's not out here stepping and fetching it, running behind white tail, which is what brought down many a movement. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. If you're offended, check yourself before you wreck yourself. This is a government document which says we got to keep these Blacks separate and neutralize any strength they get in unifying. They said to preserve the present climate, which is division, which inhibits the emergence from within the Black leadership of a person capable of exerting nationwide appeal. Now, I tell y'all all the time to go in the internet and watch, and I wish I could show it here, but I know they're going to strike me if I try to show it. But I want your homework is to go out and watch Hidden Colors. Start with Hidden Colors, then go to Hidden Colors 2, 3, 4, 5, then watch 1802? I believe it's 1802 or 1804, about the Haitian Revolution and how they freed themselves. All by Tariq Nasheed. Watch it. Watch it. You are going to get an education like you've never had just from watching Hidden Colors 1. When you go through, I'm telling everybody, I'm not talking just to Black people, I'm talking to everybody. Go on YouTube and type in Hidden Colors. Can you put it in the chat, Kayla? Hidden Colors by Tariq Nasheed. Listen to me. You are about to get an education. And especially for our white sisters and brothers, Asian sisters and brothers, Latino sisters and brothers who have been lied to by this American government and kept from the truth of what they've done to Black people and how we have circumvented all of their attempts to supplant our movement. Please get your education. Please get your whole education on. Go and look at that. Archangel Michael, please, I want you to watch it. Oh, you watched it. He said, eye opener. People, please watch. Absolutely. Please. Hidden Colors. I'm not talking about Hidden Figures, about the chicks in whatchamacallit. Scroll to the bottom. I'm not at the bottom. Thought I was at the bottom. I think I'm at the bottom, K-Leg. She says scroll to the bottom. Is it not sliding? Oh, of the NSA doc. Thank you, boo. That's why I love K-Leg so much. All right. It says, facilitate the greatest possible expansion of Black. So this is to stop the facilitation of the greatest possible expansion of Black businesses by granting government contracts and loans with favorable terms. Take every possible means through the AFL-CIO leaders to counteract the increasing influence of Black labor organization, which function in all major unions, and in particular, the National Coalition of Black Trade Union and its leadership, including the creation of real preference for adverse and hostile reaction among white trade unionists to demands for improvement of social and economic welfare of Blacks, to support the nomination at federal and local levels of to support the nomination at federal and local levels of loyal Black public figures to elective offices and government agencies and the court. That means Black people who are willing to sell their own people out. That's who they want to get in the court. Black people who will sell their people out. That's why they can't stand Jasmine Crockett. They can't stand her because she reads them for filth and come with receipts and correct change. And the woman is an attorney, an accomplished scholarly honor roll. I think she graduated magna cum laude. They can't come for her. They try, but they can't. To support, this would promote the achievement of a twofold purpose. First, it would be easier to control the activity of loyal Black representatives within existing institutions. Second, the idea of an independent Black political party now under discussion within Black leadership circles will soon lose all support. This is America. This is America. Get them picking them. Don't get you picking them. This is America. This is your country. This is your America, old land of liberty, sweet land of liberty of the itis. This is your America. This is your America KKK. This is your America KKK. This is it. There is a government document which still stands on the books. Those of you who K-Leg put it in the chat. But you see where it came from, right? Did you see me pick up a notebook and shuffle? This is the I know. This is why your girl is single. Because this is too much information and too much truth for a lot of dudes out there. A lot of dudes can't handle this. I'm too much for them. And I'm not saying this proudly. I'm human. Would I like companionship? A husband? Absolutely. But your girl is too much for the average run of the mill. A passport bro could never. See, I'm what you call a sapiophile. I'm not stimulating. Nah, I like a little muscles and thing. Yes, I like the muscles. I like a broad back and all of that. I like all of that. I like a nice physique. But you want to know what I'm impressed by? What I'm stimulated by? Intellect. Oh, teach me something. Woo, baby. I'll be in there cooking, making homemade biscuits, all that. Teach me something. That's what I'm impressed by. Okay? Your girl K-Lig is always on the scene. Look at that. Always on the scene. Got it. It's all good, Naturabelle. You're not so late. Nighty night, boo. Absolutely. Right Town said 20 minutes behind and we flying at 2 times the speed. Michael said, I've always been naturally drawn to information. That is correct. Absolutely. I'm a sapiophile. I am attracted to intellect. You want to impress me? Teach me something. I'll be in there cooking, whipping it up, baby. You want me in a soft life? Teach me something. I'll be all the way soft life, which I am anyway. But, you know, there's a side of me. I build and I love power tools. But trust me, you want to see me stick a white gardenia in my hair like Lady Sings the Blues and be all, honey, could you reach that for me? Baby, could you? I need to change this light bulb. Honey, can you unscrew that light bulb for me? I'll be all the way soft life. But there comes a time sometimes, and I hate to even pontificate on whether or not this would be, but I have relegated myself to the notion that maybe next lifetime. Now, does he have to be the smartest in the world? Absolutely not. Because see, teaching me things is not only, you know I'm an anomaly. I do understand that. I know I'm unique. I'm not saying I'm the only one, but I'm saying per capita, there's not going to be a whole bunch of people like me in the same area. I'm more uncommon than I am common. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I love myself. Am I going to, now look at Hidden Colors. K-Leg put it in the chat. There's Hidden Colors 1, the original, and then on to 5. Watch them all. Watch it with your children. Watch it with your family members. Watch it with your brother, Pookie. And look, we ain't talk about Pookie and Man in a long time. I know they feeling neglected. Pookie, Man, what the deal, yo? What the dealie? Listen, watch it with Pookie and Man. They need this information because trust me, you watch it with Pookie, Man, Ray, and all of them, Tonk and all of them, they're not going to want to be on the street annihilating their brothers. They're going to join that, put down your flag and stop gangbanging. They're going to join the unity with the anti-gangbanging movement because they're going to see how much we are. See, our superpowers are becoming activated, baby. We're walking into who we're supposed to be, and they're terrified by that. You see what date I said that was? 1978. Good old Jimmy Carter. Mr. Peanut, Mr. Down South. And I don't care what nobody say. You see how kinky that hair was? Nobody couldn't tell me he didn't have the tar brush in him. He might be a light-skinned, but he had some black in him. I'm certain of it. He was raised by black people. Somebody had the tar brush in them. You know we come in all hues. We come in all hues. Why this one on any corner snooping and thing? Hidden Colors, baby. Martha Cardile said, Hidden Colors 1, the untold story. Hidden Colors 1, the untold story of people of Aboriginal, Moor, and African descent. 2, Triumph of Melanin. 3, Rules of Racism. 4, Religion of White Supremacy. 5, Art of Black Warfare. And then put, I think it's 1804, about the Haitian Revolution. Put that in there too, y'all, because we can't forget that. Baby, the first Black African nation post-colonial slavery. Put some respect on Haitians. Sac passe, Naboulé. Put some respect on Haitians. Y'all know I got to go down the channel, go down the playlist. You'll see my Haitian, put some respect on the Haitians show I did, episode I did. I told y'all, my godmother was Haitian. I grew up with Haitians. Caribbean Massive unite. Everybody, all of us unite. But put some respect on their name because, baby, you know why society tries to keep them down? Because they beat the military, Napoleon's military, which was considered impenetrable. Just like they said the Titanic was the unsinkable. They thought he had the most powerful military in the world, 30,000 strong. And 3,000 Haitian militia and countrymen in the swamp beat 30,000 of Napoleon's army that was considered impenetrable, undefeatable, beat them, annihilated them, and sent the last few of them back home with their tail tucked between their legs. Haiti devoured France. They ain't never let them forget it. And they have been financially graping them with no Vaseline financially since then. People say Haiti's the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. No, it's not. They have natural gold reserves. You want to know the real Wakanda is Haiti. They have minerals. Vibranium is in Haiti. You better act like y'all know. Ask yourself why they have been treated so maliciously, so malevolently, so nasty, and they keep pushing forward. And let me tell you something. I don't care what nobody told you. Bar none, Haitians are some of the most intelligent people. I grew up with Haitians. I went to school with Haitians. There was a Haitian guy, Max Goose, PS 189, perfect score on the SAT, baby. District 17, Brooklyn, New York. Perfect score on the SAT. I'm telling you what I know, not what I think. Shay, my girl Shay in the back, the smartest. Smartest, okay? Don't sleep. People will have you think Caribbeans because we have this rhythmic talk and we don't know nothing, baby. Brilliant, okay? Act like you know. Act like you know. Trini girl, I got lots of people around me. They be like, this level of intellect, unnatural. I had people tell me, I don't think you're human. I think you're an angel. I've never met anyone like you. You're different. This is all different. Who knows this much? I tell you, the girl that used to get, here come Encyclopedia Brown. If she tell a joke, you learn a new vocabulary. This is who God made me to be. People say, what don't you know? What can't you do? You know why? Because every single incarnation that my spirit, every flesh house, every human meat suit that my flesh, my spirit incarnated into for millions of years left resonance. Every single person that my spirit inhabited their body, every single body incarnation where my spirit took on and came to this world, everything that person could do stuck onto my spirit. And so when my spirit went back to the essence and came back again, all those things were stuck and then the new things formed. And everything that ever took place in the history of my spirit is still stuck here. I can speak something into existence, a skill. I looked at furniture and said, oh, I could build that. I could do that. And went over there and did it. And people were like, who taught you that? Nobody. I taught myself. I'm not average. And I'm not sitting here self-aggrandizing and singing my own thing, because trust me, it's a lonely road. Many of you wouldn't like this road. In fact, I dare say the less intelligent of the spectrum ain't got no shortage of men snooping at their dough. And I ain't saying that's the end all be all, but I'm human. And God made man and woman. And I would love companionship, but guess what? This level of intelligence is not typically appealing because based on what I know, a lot of men don't want you knowing more than them. They want a woman who, let's keep it a buck. They want to feel like they know more than you. And I don't have a problem with that. Listen, I ain't competing with my man. I ain't trying to compete with my man. That ain't it. But I tell you, when you have an active brain like this, it is not the most appealing to people. Like, I just keeping it real. And I'm not saying I doesn't have my suitors and them, but trust me, a lot of them does be suiting, as my cousin said, it does be suiting me because they don't know how intelligent I am. I cannot tell you, and I don't be out here flexing. I just know so much and know what I know. The simple conversation and it rolls out. Trust me, I've been ghosted. Okay, more times than I'd like to admit. Okay, I've been ghosted because I don't want to know when the new Jordans come out. That is not my conversation. No disrespect. It's not my conversation. You see your girl, K-Leg, then put it in the chat. Here go the Haiti video. Oh, there, take a watch. Martha Cardill said K-Leg, the Haitian Revolution, 1791, 1804. Right Sound said 7 minutes behind, baby. You almost here. You almost here. You'll be here in 3.5. Oh, well, you said 2 times. So you're 14 minutes behind, but you're watching it at double speed. So 7 minutes. Inquiring minds want to know. Listen. I don't wish, while I wish this level of intellect on people, I don't wish this on anyone, because guess what? It's a lonely road. And no man is an island. God did not create us to be alone. He created us to have a partner, a companion, a love, a husband, a wife. And, you know, if it is God's will that I ride this out till the sunset, until he calls me home, and, you know, I got good friends and I'm my own best friend. So it is what it is. It's not what I choose, but if that's how he called me to walk through this journey, then so must I walk it. Michael said, I am traveling around listening. I do a check-in with 5 old men, last of the old knowledge, and I make sure that they're still breathing to get them things at the shop if they need it. I do it for free. Shout out to you. See, that's the type of love we need to show people. Shout out to you, Michael. That's dope. God bless you. Shout out to you. Absolutely. Absolutely. How dope is that? That is who we're supposed to be. That's how we're supposed to show up for people in this world. Dana said, whoever you partner up with will need to be very secure with themselves and not feel intimidated by your greatness. Thank you so much for saying that. That's why I miss my husband. Listen, that was my person. Cause baby, he would be like, so you think you're smart? He would check, listen, he would check you quick. So wait, you think you're smart, you bigger and better? Me no business about that, man. Move on, way. And all I could do was laugh because he didn't care. That's what I love. It wasn't so much that he didn't care. He was so secure. He wasn't intimidated. Oh, Kaylee said, and he's out there. Oh, Kaylee, don't make your girl cry. I'm back, guys. Dana said, haha, love that. Asheo. You know what? I believe so. If it is God's will, so shall it be. So shall it be. As long as he ain't done with the passport bros, because I ain't doing that at all. I ain't doing that at all. They don't like women. But I want to show you about this dude. His name is Tamo or Tamo. I hope I'm pronouncing it. It's Tamo or Tamo. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. He gave the clapback of all clapbacks. And then we about to wind this up soon. Baby. So he is a streamer who was online, and he on his channel, he opens up Pokemon cards, and you know, he talks about Pokemon cards and people who are collector of Pokemon cards. He helps them figure out if their cards have value and things of that nature. Now, I just happen to know this Pokemon stuff because you know me, I keep telling y'all, anything I experience sticks. My oldest son, Donovan, was a Pokemon expert. He had a binder that was about 5.5 inches thick, and it was busting at the seams with Pokemon cards. So I literally remember the name of Pokemon cards. Rattata, Articuno, you know, all types in it. I just remember them. Like this was when he was 11. He'll be 36 in a couple of weeks, and I still remember these things. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. It's how my brain functions. It is how my brain functions. Once it's in there, it's stuck. This is a supercomputer. So, So this guy has an obsession and fascination with Pokemon cards. I can understand and relate because my son had that. My son was a Pokemon. Listen, that binder, baby, I spent so much money on that binder. He was trading cards, buying cards, all kinds of stuff. And then he went somewhere with my mother and my aunt, and he lost his book. And bomba clot. I beer tears and eye water from that boy there. Reach you. Look, a whole bunch of names, just they in there somewhere, but because I went off on another thought, they stuck. But trust me, when I tell you I know Pokemon like it's going out of style. Well, he ended up, this guy opens on his channel And so he lets people come on live with him and they tell him, and he's like helping them figure out their cards. And so he's like, this number right here, tell me what this number says, and I'll let you know if your card has value or what the value is. This guy comes on, oh, Raichu is how you pronounce? Okay, Raichu. And thank you, Michael. And a guy came on his channel, and instead of giving him the Pokemon numbers, he started saying, you're a N. Hard ER, calling him out his name over and over again. He was like, yo, what? Why are you like this? What's your problem? And he's like, yo, and then the guy had to, baby, when I say the most epic of clapbacks, this is why I love us, because we so saucy. we so I love it. I love it. Child, she said, I wish I would have saved those MJ cards, Hess trucks, Addy dolls, Raggedy. Ooh, not Addy dolls, honey. Raggedy Ann, honey, not the Raggedy Ann. Comic books, idols. I don't like dolls. Dolls carry spirits. Yes, Charizard. Yes, honey. I remember all those, honey. And let me show you this epic clap back. So this is I think I chose this one because he gave a full understanding of what went down. So he doesn't play the entire. This guy, I am Lucas. I am amazing Lucas. Put that in the chat on IG. I am amazing Lucas. K-Lig. But I did isolate this video to show you. Let me share the screen. And then I will also find the whole video and show it because I need y'all to see this impeccable clap back. Pay close attention.
Always the victim. Always the victim. Oh my goodness. So there is a TikToker who went viral not too long ago, and it was basically over black fatigue. No, not the racist version of black fatigue, not the whitewashed version of black fatigue, but the actual version of black fatigue, which is essentially tired of racism, having to deal with systemic racism in this country from day to day, from being just black American. And I thought the video was absolutely hilarious because this person was being harassed in his own stream, constantly being called slurs ad nauseum, and eventually he got fed up, as we all do, okay? Which is what I hope happens as a collective, because that'll be the day that we get our reparations, that we get equality, that we get whatever we want. The day that us as a group get fed up, all right, and stop being complacent with the foolishness that's going on, then we'll start making progress. But that's for another video. Anyways, he gets fed up and he does his due diligence and finds out damn near everything about this racist little twat, okay? Finds out about his dead mother, he finds out about his kid, finds out he works in the Navy, all of this.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation.
To the white guy that called me slurs over and over again in my live stream the other night for no reason, guess what? You're going to get kicked out of the United States Navy. You know how they tell us that we should be careful what we do on social media because there can be real life consequences? Hi, my name's Real Life Consequence. I've done a thorough background check and now I know everything about you. I know what little town in Texas you're from. I know your name, your phone number, your email address. I've seen your disciplinary records. I know the names of all of your family members, including your dead mother and your daughter who turns 2 next week and her mother who's going to have to pay for all the birthday presents this year because you came into my live stream and saw a black man who was talking about Pokemon cards and video games and you assumed, yeah, he's not going to do anything if I call him slurs repeatedly, even though he's trying to help me. Turns out,
damn. Now I saw that video with millions of other people, okay? And you know what? It just brings a smile to my face just to see that video, just to know that people need to understand that there are consequences. This is something that the lineage of evil doesn't agree with, all right? Because one thing I've noticed is that the issue was not with the racists who went into his stream, right? One thing I noticed with the lineage of evil, the backlash, if you can believe it, that this streamer is getting was for him.
Come on now, dog.
There were ignorants, I kid you not, talking about, oh, this is a sign of black fragility. Oh, it's just words. Oh my God, you're doing too much. This is just words. You're really gonna destroy someone's life over just words? And that right there, that right there is why it needs to happen more often. Damn. You have these ignorants who have no adult supervision. They constantly want to scream about, oh, single parent households and black on black crime, where they have their kids. They raise them to be a part of the lineage of evil. And one point of the lineage of evil is no repercussions. Because you have to understand, under a systemic racism, right? Under a system of racism, why would there be punishments for races. What they have to understand is that it's no longer 1950. It's no longer 1930, or it's 2025. And we will do everything in our power to make sure you ignorant are held accountable for your actions. This is something that they have never had to deal with, okay? They would be able to hang an innocent black person and go to bed, bro. They'd be able to go to bed, eat the freaking, potato salad with raisin, and go on with their life. They didn't have to worry about the sheriff because the sheriff was there at the lynching. They didn't have to worry about the judge because the judge was there at the lynching. They didn't have to worry about any of that because they were all present, okay? That's the whole point of racism, that it's a group effort. Now, the point in time where someone strays from the group, that's when we start to get some consequences for these races. So he goes off talking about how he's going to get him fired, and that's his intent.
Turns out I am going to do something. Turns out there are so many things I can do because I have all the screenshots. I have all of the recordings. I know that after you left my live stream, you went into someone else's and started talking about how much you love Jesus and God and the Bible. So maybe I should send that evidence to the church you go to in that little town we both know about. I know exactly which boat in the Navy you serve on, and I know the names of black sailors that serve in the same boat as you. Maybe I'll send the clips to them as well. But only after I send them to the Naval Inspector General's office, because I'm getting you fired. I'm getting you kicked out of the Navy. There's nothing you can do to stop me. There is no apology I will accept. There is no excuse I will listen to. There is no money you could offer me. You're getting fired.
But the issue is that these people do not like that. They don't like consequences. And they are trying to shame the black streamer who was being attacked in his own stream. No, not provoked, right? He didn't provoke anybody. There was just some racist little kid who wanted to call him N-words and all these other slurs in a stream. They view the kid as that's what they do. And there's countless stories of this where you'll have someone saying, oh, you're a chimp, you're a monkey, and this and this. And then we find out, oh, do you live here?
It turns out that there are two fundamental ways of looking at the world. And I think we picked the wrong one.
Is this your name?
We're not the same species as us. They're actual Africans. They're like actual animals. And they don't care.
30 St. Petersburg, Florida. Does that ring a bell? Checkmate. Damn, it sounds like a library in this bitch. What's going on? You sitting there all quiet like a church mouse, dog. God damn. What was that you were saying? See, I bet you didn't wake up this morning thinking the chip was going to do that to your ass now, did you? Now, let me ask you another question. Who is Is that you? Don't tell me that's you, big dog. Not like this. You don't look like a man. Usually are nice people. You look more like a Ryan. Ryans are hateful people. Oh, sorry. My bad. I just want a piece.
And they immediately go into their training, okay? I kid you not, I feel like in some of their households, this is how they're trained.
You're really gonna ruin a 14-year-old's life over on TV?
No, don't play the victim. Listen to me carefully, you fucking recessive chromosome, okay? Don't play the victim now. You knew exactly what you was doing.
Can I apologize, bro?
No, it's too late for that. Maybe like 3 hard hours ago, I would have let you apologize.
This is how they're trained. Hey, little Timmy, now if anything goes wrong, if anything bad happens, if it doesn't go your way, what do you do? I didn't mean to do it. Why are you gonna? Is that right? Is that what I do? Just immediately start crying? Is that what I do? That's correct. Good job, little Timmy. It works 99% of the time. I mean, you can even kill someone, and if you start crying, to the judge, they may let you off. Okay. All right. So just remember, immediately go to the tears.
A little girl was trying to sell bottled water so she could go to Disneyland. Now her story has exploded into a flood of controversy.
Edel says she's now gotten thousands of hateful emails.
All kinds of threats. Horrible images. And death threats. Yes, sir.
And look when you just step in. You're very right.
You stopped doing your job completely. You didn't communicate what happened over the radio, right?
No.
You didn't make sure any officers knew what you had just done, right?
No.
You didn't run down the street and try to save Dante Wright's life, did you?
No.
You didn't check on the other car that had been hit, did you?
No.
That all happened just down the road from you.
This is how I genuinely believe that their kids are trained, because they will immediately start playing the victim card. They will start attacking you for wanting consequences. No. They will start attacking you for wanting to hold them accountable for their actions. This is the irony of seeing all this, of seeing all these goofies want to talk about black people need to hold accountable. Oh, this is black privilege. This is all they do. All of their little words are nothing more than just whitewashing of our history, of whitewashing of our lexicon. What do you think as far as what we say white supremacy? What do they say? Oh, this is black supremacy. We say this is white privilege. What do they say? Oh, this is black privilege. They have nothing new under the sun. All they do is come to kill, steal, and destroy. Okay, kill, steal, and destroy. And when it comes to steal, that everything, bro. That's for your language, your culture, your history, all of that, bro. We see what's going on with the Smithsonian. We see what they've done to black fatigue. We see what they've done to woke. They try to steal language, man. What type of mongrel do you have to be to steal a language? To steal words and to try and use, this is the new definition. This is because I said so. Bro, this is their mindset. They will always be victims. And when you have someone in the White House, when you have these political pundits who are reinforcing this narrative to them, it makes it easy for you to just take money out of their pockets. It goes back to the Lyndon B. Johnson quote. That's what they are doing. These mofos are suffering when it comes to the farmers, when it comes to the groceries, when it comes to the rent, when it comes to electricity. But in the meantime, between time, what are they talking about? Black crime. Oh, look at this black person. It's like, bruh, you are literally about to be starving and your focus is on a black person? Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know what the other side is because it's clearly that's how they were taught. The vast majority of the lineage of evil were taught to play the victim when they get caught doing something evil or wicked. It just is what it is. Anyways, if you happen to disagree, you know where to find me Thursday through Saturday, Disagreement Day. The video number on screen, you call in and we do get out. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing.
You're really gonna ruin a 14-year-old's life over on the TV?
I had another one. Let's see. I had one more. I want to show y'all one more. I want to show you the actual video. Which part did they? Oh, wait. There's a mistake I make. Incidentally, this is how you know that they're listening to us, because why a commercial come up with passport, and we've been saying passport bros. This is how you know they be clocking. This is how you know they be clocking, son. I want to show you the actual video. Let's see. Now, typically, this is not a content creator I would highlight, but this is the video that came up, and I want to show you guys the video. And I have my reasons. I'll speak on it for another. That's for another day and another time. But I think this is going to give more in-depth of the video.
Sitting here minding my business, just in the Pokemon community. I just went on live, right? And I'm sitting here minding my business, just organizing some cards. And this guy joins the panel and he's like, oh, I have cards. Can you help me figure out if they're worth anything? I'm like, for sure. I pull up the website. I ask him like, okay, show me what you have. He turns on his camera. And then this is what happens next. What's on okay. And what are the numbers at the very bottom, on the very, very bottom of the card? Right here, what do these numbers say?
It's NIG.
Dude, are you serious? Why are you like this? No, but seriously, but why are you like that? Listen, I've been collecting these cards for maybe like 5 months. My collection is not that big, but I love opening packs, right? I open packs on my YouTube channel. I love watching people open packs. I love opening packs with people. I like looking at everybody's collections. I love it. It's fun. But I don't bother anybody. In my year of doing content, the most racism I've received has been in the Pokemon community, all right? It wasn't just this thing that happened tonight.
I don't know 70% of what that brother just said about the opening packs and stuff. I don't know about that. But I do know racism when I see it. Everybody does. This is going too damn far. So, Pokemon community. I had a young lady who worked for me a few years back. She was into the Pokemon thing. It seemed as if they were having a lot of fun. Different, but engaging, created culture, contact between individuals who would have never met each other if it had not been for that particular medium. So I appreciated it for that. To hear this is quite different. So the TikToker, however, being cool, calm, collected, and quite a nice gentleman, did get exacting revenge on the person who decided to do this. Here it is.
The white guy that called me slurs over and over again in my live stream the other night for no reason, guess what? You're going to get kicked out of the United States Navy. You know how they tell us that we should be careful what we do on social media because there could be real life consequences? Hi, my name's Real Life Consequence. I've done a thorough background check, and now I know everything about you. I know what little town in Texas you're from. I know your name, your phone number, your email address. I've seen your disciplinary records. I know the names of all of your family members, including your dead mother and your daughter who turns 2 next week, and her mother who's going to have to pay for all the birthday presents this year because you came into my live stream and saw a black man who was talking about Pokemon cards and video games, and you assumed, yeah, he's not going to do anything if I call him slurs repeatedly, even though he's trying to help me. Turns out I am going to do something. Turns out there are so many things I can do because I have all the screenshots. I have all of the recordings. I know that after you left my live stream, you went into someone else's and started talking about how much you love Jesus and God and the Bible. So maybe I should send that evidence to the church you go to in that little town we both know about. I know exactly which boat in the Navy you serve on, and I know the names of black sailors that serve on the same boat as you. Maybe I'll send the clips to them as well. But only after I send them to the Naval Inspector General's office because I'm getting you fired. I'm getting you kicked out of the Navy. There's nothing you can do to stop me. There is no apology I will accept. There is no excuse I will listen to. There is no money you could offer me. You're getting fired.
This man is Jason damn Bourne. Put him on full mask. Y'all thought he was a TikToker. Obviously, he's something else. How in the hell did you get all of that information, sir? He didn't explain that. According to Atlanta Black Star, the black TikToker who goes by Tamo turned the tables on a racist troll, serving up the kind of poetic justice that has social media cheering. The incident started when a white male jumped into one of his live streams where he was casually talking about Pokemon cards and video games and hurled the N-word at him over and over again. Now, this is a helpful individual. He said he just started collecting himself, and he's willing to be generous with those who are starting as well and looking for information. He's a humble guy.
Y'all remember that face of the content creator? I'll tell you a story another day. However, well, I'll give you a little tidbit to hang on to. That guy used to be my professor. And according to him, I was his favorite student. That is, of course, until he tried to take responsibility for something, my work, something I created, and then it turned into a whole debacle because, of course, I went to the administration of the school and I questioned and I'm like, yo, how come y'all not living up and honoring, this work I did, da-da-da-da-da. And they're like, oh, that's absurd. What are you talking about? You didn't do that. Professor Richie did that. I was like, excuse you? And I pulled out, because your girl always got phones on deck. And I pulled out my trusty dusty phone with the proof and showed them the moment when I conceived of the idea and texted my professor and told him we should present this to the school, and which he said, oh, I'll go talk to them and let them know you taught me this. But I saved that for another day because your girl, I still got that phone and I keep her receipts and correct change because I wish a mother would ever call me a liar. I keep receipts and correct change. I still got that phone. And baby, I will present my receipts. In fact, I will print them out on my trusty dusty printer over here and show them on screen because you know me. I'm not the one or the two, but that's for another day. I wanted to show y'all that. You see how Tamo came back? We could fight the power. Just like Public Enemy said, fight the power. We ain't got to do it the traditional way of knock if you buck, throw them bows. We don't have to. However, I'm saying, run up and get done up. But there are other methods of getting back at somebody. So now, because this guy wanted to play with the N-word hard ER, he ended up losing everything. Is it worth it? Are you so insecure in your personhood that you need to come on a Pokemon streamers thing and say you're a NIGGER, hard ER, over and over? And he's like, yo, why are you this way? Why are you like this? And you keep on going on. Why? Why must you be this way? Why can't we all just get along? In the immortal words of what my boy name is. Gordon is the menopause brain is snapping it out, but you know what I'm talking about. The LA riots situation. Somebody drop it in the chat. Y'all know this menopause brain does be frying me sometime, boy. God, I could see him. Rodney. Somebody, please drop it in the chat. This brain it's when my systems be overheating. This the menopause brain. Rodney King. Thank you, Keisha. Thank you, Keisha and Right Sound Studio and Dana. I didn't even see yours, Dana. Thank you, guys. But you see your girl know her stuff. He said, can't we all just get along? Thank you. Why can't we all just get along? Why must people still take these pot shots? Why must somebody come? Y'all see what I had to stick in my hair to hold my hair back with? A paper clip. Now, I looked in my drawer. That's all I could find. But why? Why must people be like this? Why can't you just come on the stream, enjoy your Pokemon cards, and call it a wash? No, you have to come on and disrespect somebody. Now, what happened? No, you lose your pension. And here's the thing. When you get dishonorably discharged, it prevents you from getting federal employment. It prevents you. And I wanted to show you the entire video because he said when you lose everything and you're working the third shift in the Amazon factory with some 22-year-old who's your supervisor, and he says, you had all this experience, what you doing here? He said, tell him about me. Tell him about me. He wants him to tell this man why he is on the night shift in the Amazon warehouse, even though he was on a naval ship and he was a Navy man and all this stuff. Dishonorable discharge takes you out of the ring. You lose all your benefits. You lose your GI Bill. So God forbid if you got a house with that GI Bill, not the GI Bill, excuse me, with the, drop it in the chat now. When you get your benefits to be able to buy a house. And if you're in school with the GI Bill, you get stripped of all of that. Why though? Just to call somebody opening Pokemon cards a hard ER? Do you know how stupid you have to be to jeopardize everything for that? Come on. Oh, yes, honey. Keisha said, I saw that he lost everything. Everything, honey. Not everything. Not to be mistaken with everything, baby. When you get to this level, you lost everything. Everything. The GI Bill is education. But the home, buying the home, is that under the GI Bill as well? I could be confusing myself. I thought I had a special name. But either way, when that DD-14 says you done effed up, you done effed up. Prevent you from getting all types of stuff. My son watches him exactly for that. Pokemon cards, that's how my son knows what ones are worth the most. Oh, wow. See? Dope. Look at that. The VA loan. Thank you, K-Leg. The VA loan. You lose your right to the VA loan. You lose your right to the GI Bill. You lose your right to federal employment. You lose your right to a lot of stuff. You literally lose all your right to come on a streamer's channel to call these Pokemon man a hard ER. You have got to be dumb to jeopardize your whole livelihood, your marriage, your child. The man say he know your dead mother name. He know your 2-year-old daughter name. He know the baby mother, wife name. He know the church, the boat, the this, the that. He know all your stuff. He looked at your disciplinary records in the military. Everything. Baby, when I tell you about this here internet, when I tell you about the Google, and for those of you who don't know what I'm saying Google, the Google. Google as an I, the Google is always watching. Okay? You see how I kept saying passport bros, passport bros? Look at the commercial that came on. Passport something. Because it's always listening. Always listening. But guys, we are past our limit. K-Lig let me rock out because it's been a minute. But child, we dug into the 3 hours and 23 minutes. 24 minutes. We deep down in there. So you know what time it is, guys. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend or 2 or 10. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with us, and we appreciate you. We love you. Again, shout out to the people in the nosebleeds, in the bushes. Shout out to you if you are watching from the comfort of your bed, the comfort of your couch, where you at work, anywhere. Shout out to the neurodivergent. I rock with you forever and a day. And oh God, I forget to tell her, look, come inside, take your shoes off at the door, grab a pair of fuzzy socks out the basket, and put your feet up. My bad. Better late than never. But, oh, thank you, boo. And somebody had put let me see. We sold my late partner's Kelly Pikachu. Pikachu! First edition card. Wow, $35K to use for therapy for cancer. Oh my, God, look at To God Be the Glory. To God be the glory. Look at the beauty of it. Look at what her love of Pikachu, look at what the love of the Pokemon cards was able to do. To God be the glory. And yes, Right Sound Studios, effed around and find out. Because baby, that Fafo never fails. Okay? And the internet, the Google is undefeated. You see how much information my boy got on it? You thought you was going to come on there in ambiguity and say hard ER. Nah, boo-boo. The internet is undefeated. I keep telling y'all. The AI is sentient, baby. He going to give up all your tea and your crumpets. So try your best, Olia. Try your best. Stop messing with people. Some of us be out here just sharing information. We don't come with no harm, no malintent. We come with pure righteous heart. Stop messing with people, especially don't mess with people who don't mess with people. Because you see people that's pure of heart and you come and disrupt. Like I be telling all there, I doesn't mess with nobody. I don't start with nobody. You see me? I have the time. Try if you want to. I got the time. And even though I have not come out like Tamo and made a video like that, don't think I don't have the capabilities. And I ain't saying capabilities to do it. I mean, don't think I haven't gathered the tea and crumpets on some of y'all out here who mean me harm. All I be is like, Father God, lead me. Tell me where to go. Oh, let me go back to our old thing before I forget. I don't know if you guys remember where, Kayla and I have been, we talking offline. Even if I ain't up here, me and Kayla talking. Please know that. But, wow, you said they're worth 80,000 now? Whew. Oh, sorry. Me and Kelly be talking. And God, no, you see the menopause brain that's people. Baby, when that menopause brain pop in and I'm running on low steam, boo-boo. I was getting ready to tell her something. Kayla, what was we talking? Oh, I know. Sorry, the battery was running low. But anyway, let me tell you what I was going to tell you. So do you guys remember after the conviction, after the conviction, I said, how much time will he be sentenced to? I know many of y'all were watching that show, that episode. I said, Father God, what are you thinking for time? People are like, oh, he's not going to get any time. He was convicted of a couple of low acts, but he was acquitted on the RICO. How much time is he going to get? I was sitting here with y'all. I looked up and said, Father God, how much time is he going to get? Just tell me how much time is he going to get? And people's like, oh, he's not going to get no time. He's going to get 2 years with time served. He's getting out. He's going home. And I said, you wouldn't do me that, Father God. You would not do that to me. Tell me how much time he's going to get. And I looked directly in this camera at y'all and I said, 8 years. God said to me, 8 years. 8 years. Well, to my surprise, I think it was maybe 4 or 5 days ago, all of the mainstream YouTubers started putting up the prosecution and the this and the that and the that says 8 years. And now, I don't know. No, and Michael, they didn't say 7 to 10. They literally said 8 years. Maybe some of them said 7 to 10, but trust and believe. Or I saw about 4 or 5 of them and they all said 8 years. And I said, oh, because there's people who will swear I lie. This is what I keep telling y'all about God's vessels, baby. The only way that you know, well, the primary way for people, especially unbelievers, to know that God is real is that he chooses. Many are called, but chosen are few. And you see when God chooses a vessel, and like I always tell y'all, I ain't saying I'm better than none. I'm saying many are called, but chosen are few. He doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. The only way that you know God's majesty and this prophetic gift that he imbued me with, using me as his vessel, is real, is that he will give me a direct statement and then allow me to speak forth that. And then somewhere later on, it will manifest. Just like I told y'all, he told me 3 years ago, way before there was any hint of anything happening to this man. But 3.5 years ago, he said, that man world is going to tumble. He said, that man is going to try to unalive himself and Babylon will fall. Have you looked around? You see Babylon a tumble down and fall. You know, see say bricks and things a fall out of Babylon, crumbling as we speak. And what happened to that man? What happened to that boy? What happened to him? Which part him there? Him not there in a lockup. That man is behind that clank, clank, mealtime. And when did they pick him up? Wasn't he supposed to turn himself in on a Tuesday? But they scooped him on a Monday night. Ask yourself why. Because after they raided, you know they done clocked all the phones. If anybody was using any of them phones believing they was not tapped, you was a whole fool. He was supposed to turn himself in on Tuesday. He had been gallivanting all around New York. He was sunbathing in Central Park on the Sunday. But the Monday, they snatched him up. Ask yourself why. It is my sincere belief that man was going to take himself out. You saw what was in the room when they went up to the room after they copped him. And on him, he had the Tucci and the Poochie and the Lucci. He had all the assortment of the D-rugs. Everything. He had a whole and a ton of baby oil in the room. He was still freaking off. But I told y'all, what people telling me, oh, you're obsessed. Oh, okay. And what exactly happened? Did it not happen as I said? When I sat here with y'all and I said, Father God, give me a number. I even broke it down and said 8. What is that? 8 years for each or 4 and 4? I said, I don't know, but the number God has given me is 8. Go use the Google or the YouTube search. Go look around and see what all the preeminent Diddy Watch content creators have said. They pulled all the case filings. They go into Pacer. 8 years. Now, it could be anywhere, like Michael said, between 7 and 10. But 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 4 numbers. They chose 8. The exact one I said, and trust me, these folks ain't no friend of mine. I happen to have called some of these folks out. They're not going to celebrate me by saying nothing I said to make me look right. What I keep telling people is, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. I am the stone the builder refused. Because the stone the builder refused becomes the cornerstone. Now, this is not self-aggrandizement. Cornerstone is not an easy job. You know what a cornerstone does? It holds everything else up. That means extra weight on your back. It's not easy. The views and opinions under the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. And yes, Michael, I hope he gets 10 years for each charge too. But you know, the laws are trickery. But the point still remains. When I asked the Most High in the most sincere desire for a word, while I was live on this camera with y'all, the Most High said 8. I said it to y'all. In fact, I am going to go in that video and I'm going to clip and I'm going to show that video the next time I go live. Because I didn't make it up. But this is about some of y'all. This ain't about me. God is simply using me as a vessel. This is about y'all. This is about understanding that God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. And he is sending a word so that how else will you know that prophets are prophets? And I don't mean P-R-O-F-I-T. I mean the prophetic word of God. How else do you know that God sends down a message but for the fact that someone speaks that and God brings it to pass in real time, live and in real life? I know people be like, I don't trust nobody to talk about God that much. Trust me, I done heard all the little comments and word all that has passed on me. I don't bother with that. I don't care about that because I know who I am and whose I am. And it ain't for everybody. Everybody ain't able to carry this life. Everybody ain't able to carry this load. It ain't easy. Some of y'all want to gallivant and post all the pictures on the IG about your trip and your boo and your shmoo and then no face, no case. And ain't nothing happening wrong in y'all lives. You know why? Because you already have given yourself unto a reprobate heart and you already sold out for the devil. That's why your life looked like a cakewalk. He don't have to wrestle with all ya. He don't have to wrestle with all ya. You see what Ephesians 6:12 said? For we wrestle not against flesh and blood. That means we have a struggle. For we wrestle not means we wrestle with something. It's not really the flesh and blood, although we think it is. It is the spiritual, it's the principalities of darkness. But there is a wrestle if you are still working for God. It is only cakewalk if you're working for the other guy. Or some all you better check all your life. In the immortal words of Ice Cube, check yourself before you wreck yourself. I ain't gonna tell you what the rest he said. You know the lyrics. However, Right Sound said, knew something was off, starts as an intern and a year later he's the CEO. Nah, doesn't pass the smell test. Asheo. Yeah, they said he's definitely panicking. And here's the deal. I am a living testimony of what that demon did to me. You know, I will forever cry aloud and spare not. I will never hold back. I watched that man shoot me in my face. And I have said so for 25 years. I watched Puffy shoot me in my face. I watched him and I've told everybody for 25 years flat. But like I said in that original TikTok, people pick and choose who they want to listen to. That notwithstanding, because I'm a woman of God, I don't relish in anybody's angst or suffering or any of that. I don't relish in it because guess what? You see that the blood clot reality where I catch him now, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And that is, I can't even call him my worst enemy because I laid that on the altar a long time ago. But for the technical definition of worst enemy, he fits. And I wouldn't wish that on him. You see them licksy, but you got to be careful of the narrative of his PR machine too, because they are crafty with their ish. But I know he ain't living no cakewalk, because remember what they said after the trial? Oh, he came home from the courthouse and he got a standing ovation from the prisoners. And they said this on the news. Like, who cares? When Pookie and Ray Ray shoot up the liquor store and thief with money and cause a big calamity, do y'all talk about that they got a standing ovation at the jailhouse? Who cares? But y'all thought it not robbery to give us that on broadcast mainstream legacy news media. It don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Absolutely. Principalities of darkness. Principalities of darkness. Hey, Dana Jacobs. Ain't nobody got time. Keisha said, I went back and listened to one interview that had me in tears when she said, we all knew what he did to her. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that one had me in tears too, because that happened live on the radio. I was at Ryan Cameron's radio show, and this woman called in, and she said that live. I was bawling. In between commercial breaks, I was bawling. I was bawling then because y'all know what it is. That was heavy. Absolutely. Say it again, Archangel Michael. I have never seen a slander case against you. And in the land of suing, that must carry weight of truth. Asheo. Asheo, brother. Tell them no, because them can't sue me. And look, me tell them, say, yes, you want to sue me? Bring me to court so I could put that discovery on the books. Baby, bring me to court so we could go in deposition and I could ask the questions I want to ask. Bring me to court if you think J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, Shine, Puffy, Sean Combs, Jamal, Michael, Moses, Levy, Barrow. Bring me to court. Let's get this deposition on. Let's get this discovery on. I will tear down fire and brimstone by your blood clot. Try it now. Try it now. You think I've been sitting around for 25 years twiddling my thumbs? Oh no, baby. I've been gathering the most lovely, eloquent tea. Receipts and correct change. So let's go. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Bring me into court and sue me now. Baby, you see when them done with deposition and discovery, you're done. You ever seen that video of the little Jamaican girl? Me done. You will be finished. Stick a fork in you, boo. Done. Flame broiled and all that. Let's go. Because y'all all still owe me money. And me want me dollars them. I want me gold doubloons them. I want them. So try your best. You hear? Tell them again, Michael. You have never seen a slander case against me. In the land of suing, that must carry weight. Because, baby, them cannot. Because trust and believe, when they search that house, nobody cannot tell me, say, them not find the video of Club New York and that man a bus shot and shoot me in my face. Nobody can tell me they don't have that video. Nobody can tell me the federal government don't have that video. I know he liked to collect tokens and memorabilia of what he did. That video was in that 2 terabytes. I know it with my whole heart. But don't worry. The God I serve, you see the God I serve? Pure fire, brimstone, and retribution. And someday that video will be shown. I don't care if it's to my children's children's children. That video will come out and it will be shown. It will be shown. Sue who? Sue who? Them wouldn't try. I would love to bring these receipts and correct change I got into the cart house. See, y'all caught me when I was sick and freshly shot and trying to survive. But baby, this mine, you see, 25 years and this mine is still on and popping, still on like popcorn. Try your best now. Oh, I'm ready for y'all. You will never escape this. You will, I said, as long as there is breath in my body, you will never escape this. You hear? Try your best. I'm better, stronger, faster than ever. Like the bionic woman. Try. They dropped a lot of people out of this trial because they don't want that smoke. They don't want that smoke. I told you about that smoke, baby. That smoke will kill you. Remember, most people don't die from the fire. They die from smoke inhalation. I'll be all up in your lungs. Keisha said, I know that's right, Archangel. They wouldn't dare. They don't want that. But they don't. They don't. Listen, if you think I was nothing, and I was nothing to play with, I told y'all what Johnny Cochran said. Walked over to Ben Brofman, pat him on the shoulder and said, you try. I can't do it with this one. So trust and believe. Trust and believe. As sharp as I am now, meet me in the court, baby. I go and finish you undone. I go and slice dice and get into knife and flame, bro. Your blood clot for you. All I will know. So try. But like I said, the headmaster has cracked the whip, and so time for us to go. Listen, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be with me and the Nerd Herd, and I'm eternally grateful. Tomorrow, please, God, we'll talk again. Well, let me don't do that because they say the Hollywood crowd does be doing the two fingers. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. I love you all. Hey, Right Sound said, what is the phrase? Third time's a charm. Amen. Asheo. He said, why did they drop drag out of the trial? They scared of us. Of course they are. Of course. They don't want this kind of smoke, baby. Listen, Right Sound said they had an infection specialist who didn't testify. I wonder why. Not just any old infection specialist, an epidemiologist, a virologist that specializes in viral loads. What in medical history is considered and counted as a viral load? Okay. Okay. Kay Lig said, good night, Nerd Herd. We appreciate your time and engagement. Tomorrow, please, God. Wale, sleep well, okay? Sweet dreams. And don't forget to hit the likes, share with a friend or 2 or 10. Share to your socials. Send the word out. Let everybody get some of this goodness. And I'll go see you all tomorrow. Please go ahead. All right. God bless everyone, and God bless you, Natanya. Amen. Thank you, my love. Same to you.